Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Metro Police are now investigating multiple shootings across the mid-state. We're going to give you the latest information about each one happening right now.
I've been coming out here since I was 16.
Well, there's a brand new project that is facing backlash. There is a growing push to cancel plans for a privately owned marina on public property. We're going to tell you why some people are so unhappy about this new proposal.
And we've got one more day in the 80s, and then that is if the 90s take over tomorrow. The countdown is on how hot we'll be. I've increased the temperatures for the weekend.
Thank you for joining us on Fox 17 News this morning, just after 4 o'clock here on this Wednesday. I'm Justin McFarland. We do begin with some breaking news out of East Tennessee. That is where the TBI says that 2 deputies were hurt in a shooting. They say that the Blount County deputies responded to a domestic disturbance yesterday at a home in Rockford, Tennessee. Now, when they arrived, they say a man inside the home opened fire, hitting 2 deputies. The TBI says the suspect was arrested after barricading himself inside the home. He's been identified as 59-year-old Ronald Millsap. They say that the 2 deputies who were shot were identified as Deputy Corbin Smith and Deputy Edwin Walker. Both are in stable condition right now. Following breaking news this morning as well, this one's out of the Edge Hill neighborhood. We do know that one person is in custody with a homicide in South Nashville. We're told that an 18-year-old person named Malachi Rybinka was shot to death inside of a home on the Edge Hill side of town in the Edge Hill apartments around 2:30 p.m. Now, we do know that a gentleman named Darius Watkins was arrested late last night and charged with that murder. He's being held right now without bond. We'll continue to get more details about this as soon as we have them. Some people this morning in Sumner County are outraged that a privately owned marina built on public property at Station Camp Creek in Gallatin. Now, this is land that is controlled and managed by the Army Corps of Engineers. That is land that is controlled, again, by the government. Some people say it's not fair to taxpayers to have a privately owned marina on public land, while others say it's a good idea because almost all the marinas on Old Hickory Lake have a wait list. The Foxland Harbor Marina would have a dry storage facility, a fuel dock, restaurants, a canoe, as well as a kayak launch. The Army Corps of Engineers says they've received a lot of public response on this so far. Now, a petition was created called Stop Foxland Harbor Marina, Gallatin, Tennessee. It shows people are concerned about wildlife, about traffic, and about the fact that marinas should not be built on public property. The Army Corps of Engineers says they are currently evaluating and as well as looking at some of the public comments as well on the proposed project. They are also finishing the evaluation under the National Environmental Policy Act.
Good morning. Waking up here comfortable one more time in the 50s, but we're gearing up for what's coming end of the week. We've been talking about it all week, and this is our last day in the 80s for now. We're going to be cranking up the heat into the 90s, and quite frankly, I've actually introduced the possibility we could hit 100 degrees on Sunday. I've got a 99 in the forecast for that day. Sunshine straight through Sunday itself. And if we don't get a cloud that day, there's a chance we could be in triple digits. Right now, though, we're at 59 degrees, crystal clear outside. A few indicators of a little bit of patchy fog out there, but nothing too dense just yet. We'll keep our eyes on it. Low to middle 50s take us all the way through 7 o'clock. 60s carry us through 9, and then 70s take us into the 80s. Warmer than yesterday. UV index is higher than yesterday. Humidity will be higher than yesterday. Today is the beginning of that push into the hotter temperatures ahead of us. Today's high 85 degrees. Tomorrow 95 degrees for your Friday, and then right near 100. We're going to really hone in on your weekend coming up in a few.
All right, thank you, Greg. Let's talk about clear traffic. 4:04 is the time as you get outside this morning. This is going to be I-40 at Donaldson Pike over there in the Donaldson area, very close to Nashville International Airport. We're doing fine out here as we normally start our day, taking a look at the traffic near the airport. No big problems here. We will have people arriving into town for Bonnaroo coming up here over the next few days, but right now, not looking at any major problems. There's a brand new proposal for a police precinct in Bellevue. This is following recent crime in that area that is aimed at making the neighborhood safer. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is live this morning in Bellevue to tell us what the councilman who proposed this particular project is saying that he thinks will really help this along.
Good morning, Justin. Well, he tells me that more officers patrolling the streets in Bellevue will make this community safer. And you might remember that we recently reported that a woman, police say, was walking her dog and was attacked with a fire extinguisher at a nearby apartment complex. And a teenager was shot right here in Red Caboose Park and later died. His memorial is right here behind me to remember him. But people in this neighborhood tell me that they just want the violent crime to stop. Although the numbers from Metro Police don't show a rise in crime throughout the years, we have reported on what seems to be back-to-back violent crime here. Council member Jason Spain says he is trying to stop crime from happening before it gets worse. He proposed a Bellevue police precinct and the capital improvement budgets to start the conversation, but believes the real change is in getting more officers to patrol the streets. He tells us there is still more to be done.
More police is certainly part of the answer, but it's not the whole solution. And we need to look at the underlying issues that are leading to these crimes being committed in the first place and how we can address them.
Bellevue's Councilwoman Sherry Weiner says that they have been stepping up patrols here in this area and that there is a West precinct that covers this neighborhood for safety. Councilman Spain tells me that there are only 5 officers that work there at a time for a shift. We reached out to Metro Nashville Police for comment and we're waiting to hear back. Reporting live in Bellevue, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. Coming up on 407, President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is found guilty on 3 felony gun charges. Coming up, we're going to dig deeper into the jury's decision and the response from Hunter Biden as well as the president. And grilled on Capitol.
Wednesdays at 8 on Fox 17.
No one in this country is above the law. Everyone must be accountable for their actions, even this defendant.
Well, reactions are pouring in from Capitol Hill. This is after the first son, some people would say, Hunter Biden, the son of President Biden, was found guilty on felony drug or felony gun charges. Now, lawmakers on both sides of this aisle are weighing in on this felony conviction. Hunter's attorneys say they are naturally disappointed by this verdict. President Biden has said that he would accept the results of the Hunter Biden trial and would not pardon him. Now, this morning, many people are wondering how much time that Hunter Biden could be facing in prison. Providing some insight on what to expect, we have a local Nashville attorney and legal scholar, David Rabin. Here's what he had to say on Twitter.
Federal statutes require 10 years minimum. The judge would have to depart enormously to put him on some sort of probation. He may depart slightly, but I'm looking for a sentence somewhere in the 4 to 5 year range, something like that, because it's a federal gun charge, and they take those things really seriously.
My mistake there, David Rabin speaking with us. Hunter Biden still faces federal tax charges. That case is scheduled to go to trial coming up in September. Taking a look at our X page this morning, we're asking you whether or not you think Hunter Biden should get prison time for the 3 felony drug convictions. Here's what you had to say. 81% of you say yes, he should. If you want to scan that QR code, you can weigh in for yourself. You can also go see everything over on our X page. You can find us at Fox Nashville to weigh in on that particular poll. Well, listen up, residents in Clarksville. Fiber lines in front of the Clarksville Montgomery County Emergency 911 Center were accidentally cut. This is due to construction in that area. This has affected the 911 call system. Dispatchers say if you call 911 and your call is dropped, please call back or use their 911 text option. They are working to try and fix the issues.
Coming up, 24 hours until our next heat wave arrives, and this one is going to be the most aggressive heat we've had so far this year. Which day could be near 100 degrees?
Steer clear traffic takes us out to I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. We're doing okay. For banking. 4:14 is the time. The former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is in the spotlight for comments that she made during the chaos at the Capitol back on January the 6th. Fox 17 News' Kayla Gaskins is showing us the video that has not been seen before, according to many.
Newly released, never-before-seen footage from January 6th appears to give more context to the security breakdown.
We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have.
The House GOP obtaining the video of former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi speaking with her chief of staff as she evacuated the Capitol that day. Pelosi heard blaming herself for not having the National Guard on hand to stop the mob.
Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with? I take responsibility for not having them just prepare for more.
The video shot by Pelosi's daughter, Alexandra Pelosi, for an HBO documentary. Pelosi telling MSNBC the video is Republicans' attempt to rewrite history.
The former president and his toadies do not want to face the facts. They're trying to do revisionist history on January 6th.
Republicans arguing this upends Democrats' claims that Donald Trump bears sole responsibility for the time it took to deploy the National Guard. However, the National Guard is under the Army and the Air Force, both of which report directly to the president, not the Speaker of the House. The Speaker does have authority over Capitol Police, though. In an interview with WJLA just days after January 6th, the Capitol Police Chief, who stepped down after Pelosi called for his resignation, stood by his claims that superiors in Congress and the Pentagon rebuffed his requests for National Guard help both before and during the riot.
Quote, I don't like the optics of the National Guard standing in line with the Capitol in the background. I was perplexed. I felt like, am I really hearing what I think I'm hearing?
Meanwhile, Donald Trump is calling for the members of the January 6th Select Committee to be indicted. Trump alleging they deliberately withheld information. So far, though, there's no strong evidence to back up the former president's claims. On Capitol Hill, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
Making national headlines this morning, a congressional panel has questioned the former New York governor, Andrew Cuomo, about the thousands of nursing home patients who died from COVID under his watch. Now, Cuomo's actions have been harshly criticized in many cases. After years of laying low, the former New York governor is making a very rare public appearance to do this hearing.
What the investigations found was the Department of Justice investigation, 3 of them, found no wrongdoing. Investigations found that New York followed the federal guidance that was established.
The COVID committee does plan on releasing a transcript of Governor Cuomo's interview, and Republicans want to bring him in for a public hearing. The White House is sending $400 million in additional aid to help with the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Now, the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, made the announcement at an emergency humanitarian conference over in Jordan. Blinken also called on other nations to step up their efforts to help, and once again called on Hamas to accept ceasefire proposals with Israel. All right, 4:17 is the time. Let's get over to Greg Bobus. He's standing by. Greg actually saved me a lot of work because I got out there yesterday during the weekdays, which is rare for me, and cut the grass just to avoid the problems that are coming up here this weekend.
Smart man. Now, it wasn't comfortably great, but it wasn't that bad, right?
It was fine.
It was fine. Yeah.
And, low 80s, but fine compared to mid 90s, which is coming up.
Justin, I put near to 100 on Sunday.
Oh,
so
boy.
It's a good thing you got it done now because also with little rain, your lawn's not going to grow that much in the next week. So that'll help you out. So you're set for the next week, likely, at this point. Out the door today, if you did not get any yard work done yesterday, you got one more day. We're starting off here in the 50s, 56 degrees at 5, 55 at 6, and 58 degrees at 7. Highs today will be about 4 degrees warmer than yesterday. We'll still be in the 80s, though. Low to middle 80s. Flightcast, always watching the airport this time of the morning, 67 degrees. will be your temperature at 9 o'clock out at Nashville International. 80 degrees at noon and 84 degrees at 3 p.m. No weather back home causing us problems. One place in the country we're watching a little bit is still Florida, where they're getting quite a bit of rain once again today. 9 delays right now on the big board. Typical for this time of the day. Right near 60 degrees, no wind. Again, our weather back home should not influence any flights into or out of Nashville. It would be destination leading to Nashville or, heading out to wherever you're going. Taking a look, lunchtime forecast. Upper 70s already by 11 o'clock. So we do get a little bit warmer, a little more quickly. 80 degrees at noon, 83 degrees at 1 p.m. We're going to be at 80 degrees or warmer from 12 o'clock until 6 p.m. and then fall back into the 70s. Another good day for a car wash, whether you're out there by yourself doing it or you're just zooming on through the car wash somewhere in your local town. I'll tell you right now, if you get it done today, it'll last you until at least Sunday before our next chance for any rain, really Monday into Tuesday. Looks like it's going to end up being our best rain chance throughout the next 7 days. We're still pleasant for the muggy meter. Dew points are still down for now, but they're going to start climbing. Temperatures climb today. Humidity climbs tomorrow, and the temperatures continue to soar into the weekend. Here's where you end up. Taking a look, 85 degrees today, and now let's just focus right there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 days in a row that will hit 90 degrees. We've only had 3 so far this year. We averaged 49 for an entire summer. So that'll put us at 9 already by the time we get to the middle of next week. 99. I've got it there on Father's Day. I'm not being gun shy when it comes to putting out a 100-degree temperature. I've actually increased the temperature on Sunday every day so far this week. 100 degrees, if we stay sunny enough, is not out of the question for Father's Day itself. So we're going to keep our eyes toward this and also start talking about the precautions we got to take going into the upcoming weekend. Our first real heat wave of the year.
Steer clear traffic at 421. Let's take a quick look here at I-24 and Hickory Hollow Parkway as you make that drive out there this morning. We're doing really, really nicely so far. No big problems in either direction out there on 24. We know yesterday 24 was a real battleground for traffic out there. 3 accidents at one point there on 24 at the same time. 3 separate accidents miles apart. But right now we're doing fine as you get out the door. We'll continue to follow things out there on the roads for you. Well, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, is once again trying to get the classified documents case against him dismissed. A federal grand jury last year indicted the former president on charges of taking classified national defense documents from the White House after he left office. He's also accused of resisting the government's attempt to get those documents back. On Monday, the former president's legal team filed a motion saying that the boxes of documents were tampered with in the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago down in Florida back in 2022. He claims that investigators failed to keep the documents in order. In an earlier court filing, prosecutors stressed that the documents have remained in the individual boxes within which they were found. Well, looking ahead, the Tennessee Titans offseason is now in the books. We've got the message from Coach Callahan that he shared with the team before they left before training camp. And the Tennessee
bronchial pneumonia.
Well, Father's Day is right around the corner, and there are so many activities for the outdoorsmen here in Tennessee. If you enjoy fishing, right now you can enjoy a day with your family. The TWRA and multiple organizations have planned special fishing events across the state. Right now, kids ages 15 or younger can fish for free at participating locations through Friday. We also have a list of other events that you can enjoy over on our website at fox17.com. Well, let's get to your weather forecast here at 425. A quick look outside. It's going to be a warm start to the day, and the humidity starts to rise.
That it does. Yesterday we were in the low 80s. Today 85. We'll add a good 4 or 5 degrees to our temperatures, and that touch of humidity will go a little bit longer when it comes to, or a little bit further when it comes to feeling a little bit hotter. Our sunset 8:05. The peak sun time when it comes to the UV rays really getting at us for sunburn are going to be about noon to 4 p.m. So just keep that in mind if you're outdoors as well. We have no rain for us here today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and with the cancellation of rain that could have been there late in the day Sunday and pushing it back to Monday, I've ramped up our temperature for the weekend. Look at your screen. 94 degrees on Saturday, And 100 degrees on Sunday is not out of the question. It'll be hot. There'll be a little humidity. I'll guarantee you right now that as we go into the weekend, Sunday's going to be a code red day for dangerous heat. Now that we're seeing more of an influence on the sun than cloud cover and possible rain. Mostly sunny, both of those days. How do you track the weather when it's coming up? And when you're looking at the day-to-day forecast, because each day, I mean, whether you're low 90s or high 90s, that is a different level of comfort and danger when it comes to your own personal health. You can check that out by downloading the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. You scan the QR code, or you go to the App Store or Google Play Store.
Happening today, it's National Pride Month, and the Tennessee Valley Healthcare System will be hosting a Pride Counts event in support of Pride Month. Now, the Pride Month celebration happens today from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is open to veterans, family members, as well as VA employees. The event will have photo booths, face painting, music, as well as promotional items and food. It also encourages veterans as well as their families and even staff members to interact with the Department of Veterans Affairs Services so they can receive support in their respective communities. The event takes place at the Nashville VA Medical Center. Again, that's later today. She's taking a live look over there right now. Steer clear traffic at I-24. At Harding Place. That's coming in from the Antioch area. So far, we're doing okay with steer clear traffic. We'll continue to watch the roads for you when we come back.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Coming up, I'll tell you about a proposal that wants to make Bellevue safer following a recent string of violent crimes.
We are waking up here with a few patches of some fog, but that is by no means the big story. I've been increased temperatures going into the weekend. How many 90s in a row we're going to see?
Steer clear traffic on the north side, 65 at Trinity Lane. So far, we're doing okay. As you get out there on the roads, we'll give you the very latest on your traffic when we come back with steer clear traffic coming up in the next few minutes. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News This Morning, just after 4:30 here on your Wednesday morning. I'm Justin McFarland. We're going to begin with Operation Crime and Justice. Two 12-year-olds are accused of stealing a Metro Middle School teacher's SUV and then driving it from Nashville all the way out to Bucksnort. That's about an hour west of Nashville on I-40. The children attended Two Rivers Middle School in Donaldson. The parents helped in the search by tracking one of the children's iPads. The students are now facing multiple charges. I'm sure we've not heard the end of that. Police are now looking into a shooting that took place on Tuesday afternoon. They say a teen was shot in the leg near the 900 block of 33rd Avenue North. We're told that the teen is doing okay. Witnesses say that the shooter wore a mask. On the run, we're told that the shooter wore a mask and then ran away after the gunfire. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers. Well, following the recent violent crime over in the Bellevue area where teenagers had a shooting at a local park, there's proposal for police precincts to be built out there in that direction to offer more officers. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar live for us this morning in Bellevue, right at the place where that shooting took place a few weeks ago, to tell us about the concerns that people have who live there.
Good morning, Justin. The people I've spoken with tell me that they don't want Bellevue to become a high crime area, and this is following the recent rash of violent crimes. You might remember we recently reported on a woman that police say was attacked while walking her dog at a nearby apartment complex, and of course the shooting that took place right here at Red Caboose Park where one teenage boy unfortunately died, and his memorial is right here behind me, a reminder of what this community is facing. People in this area say they don't want to have to go through this anymore, and the proposal is a way to try to stop it. Council member Jason Spain proposed a police precinct in the capital improvement budget to start the conversation, it would cost upwards of $22 million. However, Spain tells me that getting a new building might be hard to do, and the focus is now getting more officers on the street. He tells me the West Precinct covers Bellevue, but it is very understaffed with only 5 officers working a shift. Charlie Tygard has lived in Bellevue for 51 years and is sick of the recent rise in crime.
And I stress the word overwhelming majority of citizens of Bellevue would greatly support that because we know that if the situation is getting worse, the best solution is to attack it head on. And the first attack head on is to bring more police officers in the community, whether it be through the precinct or whether it be through patrols or whether it be through events that invite our policemen to participate in the community.
Bellevue's councilwoman Sherry Weiner tells me that patrols have been increasing in this area and that a building is just not enough. We reached out to Metro Nashville Police for comment, and we're waiting to hear back. Reporting live in Bellevue, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. Well, Father's Day is almost here, and we want to know exactly how many people will be hitting the road or going outdoors to celebrate. Now, Greg, I hear that things are heating up temperature-wise, so what can we expect this weekend here?
You know, Justin, I've not crunched the numbers yet when it comes to previous years, but I've got nearly 100 degrees in the forecast for us. Now, you mentioned travel. A good chunk of the country is going to be in the 90s. I would say almost the entire eastern half of the country, all the way up to the New England states, will be in the 90s. So if you're traveling, it's not going to be great just because you left the Nashville area. Keep that in mind. We're going to be at 99, I've got in the forecast. What is new this morning? There are 2 big things that are new that are not great. All right, one of those is that we have even hotter weekend temperatures because we pushed the rain back until next week, Monday into Tuesday. So every day between now and Sunday, we have no moisture to work with, and that's going to allow us to get hotter and hotter, and the sun is going to keep bearing down on us. Our last day in the 80s is going to be today. All clear for Code Red for now. We've only had 3 days in the 90s so far this year. We average about 49. We know that starting tomorrow, all the way through possibly even Tuesday of next week, we could have 6 days in a row that hit 90 degrees. That'll put us up to 9 total. I looked at the long-range forecast. It keeps us above average as well. We could end up with some 15 more days in the next 20 that end up near or above the 90-degree mark starting tomorrow. 59 right now. That also includes warmer nighttime temps. You're not going to see night times in the 50s anymore for the next 2 weeks. We're clear to start off. You get a trend here. Everything is hot. So if you're an outdoor exerciser, this might be your last biking morning or biking evening where you're comfortable. Get out there, do it today. Maybe your last morning run or your morning jog before work. This is one of the better days to do it in the next couple of weeks. We've been checking on the airport. We know that looks pretty good to go this morning, but we always look at the big board because Florida is being socked with a lot of rain right now. Our weather back home should not cause any concerns, whether that be local travel or getting up into the air. There's your 99 though on Sunday for Father's Day. I am going to look back here in the next half hour and take a look at the last 3 Father's Days and see what those temperatures were like compared to what we're going to see for this Father's Day.
All right, Greg, interested on your findings. Thank you, sir. Let's take a look at steer clear traffic. This is a live look here at I-65 at Trinity Lane there on the north side. As you can see, traffic in that area moving along pretty well. No big problems as you make that drive in from the north side, exactly what we like to see. However, we do know things can and will change as the morning goes on. We're in a summertime traffic pattern, so things are going to be a little different. If I can, I want to take a look out towards Manchester and Coffee County as people start to arrive out there for Bonnaroo. We're going to try to do that a little bit later in the morning.
It's even more concerning because I feel like the agency does not comprehend it. It's falling on deaf ears.
We've got continuing coverage as Nashville's bus riders are frustrated with ongoing crime after police say they got into another argument that got physical on the WeGo property. Now, police arrested Kevin Figgins after police say that the 58-year-old choked his granddaughter. This happened at the WeGo terminal in downtown. Now, this assault follows 2 shootings and 2 stabbings on WeGo property last month alone. Now, riders say they do not feel safe.
Our concern is that we feel that even with the security that we have, we're still seeing the same activities and things happening and fights actually occurring even after all of these incidents occur. So if they were seriously about making sure that we were safe, they would have actually addressed these issues to never have happened again, but they're continuing to happen.
The mayor's office for the city of Nashville is pushing forward with almost a $7 billion plan to improve public transportation. The mayor says safety is one of his priorities. There are multiple Juneteenth celebrations. 4:40 is the time. Looking ahead to the weekend, many people from all walks of life will be celebrating Juneteenth. In Murfreesboro, the Bradley Academy Museum and Cultural Center will be hosting the 2024 Juneteenth Street Festival, along with multiple blocks of South Academy Street near the museum. This year's celebration runs from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. You can look forward to a lot of music and dance performances and activities for children, plus displays of arts, food trucks, and a lot more. All right, let's talk about steer clear traffic. As you get out there this morning, we want to take a look north of town. This is going to be I-65 at Trinity Lane up there. We're doing okay so far on that particular drive. No big holdups here for you. We're also looking at other things happening out there. That includes this drive coming in from the Antioch area. That is where things are also looking smooth. So far, we are looking at normal, regular drive times, nothing out of the ordinary. We're going to continue to follow things out there for steer clear traffic as we're live and local with you through 9 o'clock this morning. Well, we're taking a look at our website as the Nashville NAACP has written an open letter to Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell demanding to meet to discuss the city's current situation involving the Nashville Community Review Board. The NAACP and the National Action Network released a letter on Tuesday, which the organization says was part of a 61-page document filed by a retired Metro Police lieutenant. Now, to read more about the story, you can head over to our website at fox17.com. Right here, you can see where that story is up, and you can read more details about it.
And coming up on the forecast, radar is clear. I have taken rain out.
4:43 is the time. We're taking a live look from Baltimore, Maryland this morning. That is where the Baltimore port is fully reopened. This is a few months after the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse that happened back in March. President Biden released a statement this morning congratulating the crews on their tireless work to reopen the port and sending his condolences to the 6 families of construction workers who were killed in that collapse. The president added, quote, "Thank you to the people of Baltimore for showing us what it means to be Maryland tough and Baltimore strong." The Tennessee Titans have now wrapped up their offseason. The team finished organized team activities, which means we will not see them again until they hit the field for training camp coming up in July. Fox 17 Sports Director Joe Jonick has more on how the team has changed over the last few weeks as we get closer to the season.
Tennessee Titans wrapping up their off-season program this week. The team holding 2 voluntary OTAs and then closing out the program with a fun team bonding activity put together by head coach Brian Callahan. Looking back at the last 10 weeks as a whole, Coach Callahan says he's pleased with the progress his team has made so far, especially with how his team has responded to everything they've thrown at them, including a new offense, new scheme, and of course new players and a new coaching staff. Now his message to his team, simple. Over the next month and a half, don't waste the progress we've already made. He said the last thing we want to do is take a step backwards, because when the team reports to training camp end of July, it's a full sprint to the start of the season.
Our players have done a fantastic job learning the information, being able to apply it. We've thrown all kinds of stuff at these guys from a scheme standpoint, from a technique standpoint, and to their credit, they've done a really nice job of attacking those things and handling the information, and puts us in a position to have a good training camp.
The Titans rookies will stay in Nashville a little bit longer, and the extra week will also give undrafted free agents more time to prove themselves. Former Tennessee Vols Jabari Small and Gabe Judy Lawley are doing everything they can to try to make the 53-man roster.
I talked to a whole bunch of other teams, but once I worked out here, I just kind of knew that I had a good day and they could be the team that I was calling, and talked with my agent after that, and I understood that this would probably be the best opportunity and all the other distractions are eliminated. I don't have to figure out a place to live. I don't have to, meet a whole bunch of new people. I know a lot of people here, so I'm comfortable. So all I have to focus on is football at the end of the day.
Just trying to find a way to create value for myself to help the team win. That's really ultimately what it's going to come down to, is just how can I help the team win and being undeniable, whether it be special teams, running back, catching, blocking, running. It's so many different ways you can affect the game, and that's really what I'm focused on.
Titans also announcing this week that they've scheduled joint practices with the Seattle Seahawks. Those practices will take place August 14th and August 15th right here at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, and those will lead right up into their preseason game against the Seahawks at Nissan Stadium on Saturday, August 17th. Reporting from the Titans practice facility, Jill Johnlick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
All right, 4:47 is the time. Let's get to Greg. He's got a look at your forecast here as we get out the door. Greg, we're talking about temperatures rising in a big way. Good thing the Titans won't be back out there later this week. They have to deal with temperatures in the 90s.
Yeah, wrapping up just in time. I mean, it's going to get real hot real quick and then stay there. Did some research, and we were talking about the last few Father's Days. How hot was it? Well, this year we're going to be 99 degrees. Last year was 87. It was 89 back in 2022, and it was 93 back in 21. So we've been accustomed to some heat, but not anything near triple digits. Also, this will be our fourth Father's Day in a row with no rain in the forecast. So we'll take that at least. Good looking start to our day here. Sunrise is about a half hour from right now, and taking a look at our Metro Center camera, you're starting to see our first rays of sun here this morning. Just a few little wispy clouds out there. That's all we're going to get for today. We have no rain and even more intense sun than yesterday. Our burn time for the UV index yesterday was 25 minutes. Now it's 20 minutes. That's all it takes for you to get a sunburn very quickly without your skin protected there by anything you're going to do, whether it's clothing, the sunscreen, the whole nine. That includes at the pool, 74 degrees, already 74 at 10 a.m., 84 degrees will be your temperature at 2 p.m. and then still 84 at 5 o'clock. So say you get home later and you go, it's a really hot work day, maybe you had to work outside and you have access to a pool. We're going to keep it above the 80-degree mark all the way through 6, if not 7 o'clock later on this evening into tonight. Pollen counts have been holding steady this week, and they're going to stay that way. The low to medium category for juniper, oak, and also just regular grass pollen as well. And that's not going to change into or out of the weekend, which is at least one good thing for us. Maybe you're going, no, I'm going to get up early right now. Sun right before it comes up. Start to get that tea time, lace up the shoes, and then as soon as the sun rises, get out there for an early morning tea time. 60s, 50s, and 60s right now. This is the coolest morning that we're going to have for the next 7 to 14 days. I see no relief in the heat once it starts to move in. Taking a look. 85. This is the last day in the 80s for the foreseeable future. 94 tomorrow, 95 degrees on Friday, 94 on Saturday. There's your 99 on Sunday for Father's Day, and we'll keep the 90s going. The next chance for showers or storms, it's a very small one too, is not going to be until Monday into Tuesday, only around 20-30%. It's better than nothing. It would give us a little bit of relief, but not banking on rain right now at this point.
Steer clear traffic at 449. Quick look here at I-40 at Spence Lane as you make that drive in from the east side. Traffic there moving along pretty well. No big problems in east or west lanes at this point, so we're looking just fine. We're going to be checking into some other areas of town coming up here in the next few minutes, but right now could not ask for better conditions as you get out there on the roads. In health news this morning, the White House wants to keep medical debt from being considered on your credit report. Now, if adopted, a new rule will also ban lenders from using medical debt to determine loan eligibility. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, roughly 15 million Americans have medical bills on their credit reports. So that would go a long way to solving that issue. And the economy. Laystar, a California-based laser welding company, is set to move to Fairview. Now, this is a $5.5 million investment that is expected to make about 24 jobs there in Fairview. It's the latest in a list of economic development projects in Williamson County supported by the state of Tennessee since 2020. Now, developers have already released new renderings of Nashville Yards. It's a 19-acre mixed-use development slated for the heart of downtown. It's been under construction now for a few years. Nashville Yards is going to offer more than 3 million square feet of top-class retail office space, as well as residential space and entertainment space as well. It will also offer a state-of-the-art music venue called The Pinnacle, which will ultimately seat over 4,000 people. The venue is set to open coming up in 2025. But again, there's lots of different projects over there in the Nashville Yards. They're going to open up slowly over the next few years. The workers at one fast food giant will soon see an increase in their paycheck. Coming up, we're going to tell you what you can look for in Consumer Watch. Thanks for waking up with us each and every morning on Fox 17 News. Is
9,000.
4:53, live look there on Lower Broadway. You can see things are slow and easy down there as they continue to recover from the CMA Fest. It's all out of there, though. No more road closures. We're looking forward to Bonnaroo coming into town this weekend, so that will bring its own crowd. Not necessarily to downtown Nashville, but certainly other parts of Music City as well. We're going to get to all of that coming up in a few, but right now, we check on your forecast because it's going to be a hot one.
That it is. This is our last day where it's not going to be abrasively hot outside. Afternoon temperatures, though, will be warmer than yesterday. We're going to get there pretty quickly this time around. We warmed up much more slowly yesterday. 77 degrees already by 11 o'clock and 80 at noon. 83 degrees at 1 p.m. If you have been itching to get outside and enjoy some 80-degree weather, maybe an outdoor lunch, this is your last chance before the heat really takes over tomorrow. These temperatures will already be hitting 90 degrees by the time we get to lunchtime. Keep that in mind. You can still wash the car, though we have no rain for a long time, so any car washing you do, it'll still look good for you here for the next 5 to 7 days before any raindrops move into the forecast for us. So at least we'll take that. Father's Day, though, I've already increased the heat, unfortunately, all the way up to 99 degrees. If you were with us on Monday morning, I was saying all morning, I'm getting hints we're going to see upper 90s. And yeah, everything's been playing out that way. We could even possibly hit 100 degrees in a few spots. Here are the last 3 Father's Days. 87 degrees last year, 89 degrees 2 years ago, and 93 3 years ago. We haven't had rain on Father's Day since back in the 20-teens. So it's been a little while since we've been there and taken a look at the forecast going forward. Well, here's a beautiful start to the day. We have plenty of sun that's going to be up for us here, and I'd say about 25 minutes from right now. And then once that sun is up, you get it all the way through 8:05. Very long here. We're getting close to our longest daylight of the year, which will happen here in about a week and a half from now. So it's almost that time of the year when the clock starts seeing our daylight dwindle down. Coming up in the 5 o'clock half hour, we'll have new looks at storm chances. They're very small, but they're there for next week. We'll talk about a few more things happening this weekend. We'll look at your Bonnaroo forecast and just try to find some ways to beat the heat and maybe even save a couple extra bucks when it comes to ways to try to go around the AC the best you can.
Steer clear traffic at 4:56. A quick look here at what's going on outside. This is going to be I-24 at Briley Parkway. As you make that drive into town there from the south and east side, traffic over there moving along pretty well. No big problems so far. Not so far coming in from Antioch. And we know things can change out there very quickly. But right now we're in great shape as you make that drive in. We will continue to follow things out there on the roads. But right now you're looking good coming in from Antioch. You're also looking good coming in from other locations like East Nashville there. That's I-40 at Spence Lane. As you make that drive in from Donaldson and Hermitage, we'll continue to watch the roads here for you. Well, listen up, Nashville. Fox 17 is giving you a chance to receive 2 tickets for Brew at the Zoo. It's coming up on Friday, June the 14th, over at the Nashville Zoo. You can enjoy animals, live music, local food trucks, and dozens of craft beers at this unique after-hours event. You can scan that QR code right there at the bottom of your screen for your chance to win. This is a 21 and older event. Message and data rates may apply. For complete contest details, you can go to our website, fox17.com/contest. Well, Waffle House workers across the United States will see a bump in their paychecks. The breakfast chain says it will raise workers' pay after a pushback from labor advocates. Now, the chain CEO says the base pay will increase by nearly $3 an hour and then slowly go up at least 25 slowly go up at least $5.25 an hour by June of 2026. But customers will see a hit in their wallets for this base pay. The chain says it will release a brand new menu prices coming up here soon because they got to pay these workers somehow. Well, Amazon delivery drivers are requesting more benefits. Flex drivers, who Amazon classifies as independent contractors, are demanding the right to be compensated for overtime work. Lawyers for the drivers say that Amazon only pays the drivers for a predetermined time block, even if it takes longer to receive a delivery package. Now, more than 15,000 drivers have filed for arbitration claims as their contracts with Amazon prevent them from taking legal action. Over 200,000 Chrysler vehicles have now been recalled due to possible software malfunction. That's right, I said software malfunction in cars. That's what's causing the recall. The recall includes certain 2022 Dodge Durango SUVs and Dodge Ram 2500 and 3500 trucks. Now, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says that the malfunction with the vehicle's anti-lock braking system could increase the risk of a crash. Well, 4 more states have now joined the United States government's landmark antitrust suit against Apple. According to a court filing on Tuesday, Indiana, Massachusetts, Nevada, and Washington state have all joined this lawsuit. That brings the total number of non-federal plaintiffs to 19 states plus the District of Columbia. The U.S. government and the states that are sued says that sued Apple back in March. They have accused the iPhone maker of illegally monopolizing the smartphone market. Our 5 o'clock hours.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
5 o'clock on the dot, Metro Police are investigating multiple shootings across the mid-state. This Wednesday morning, we're sharing the very latest updates.
I've been coming out here since I was 16.
We're also covering the push to cancel plans for a privately owned marina on public property. Why some boaters say they're not too happy. Hi there, Greg.
Hey, good morning. Forecast here last day before the heat really cranks up here. And unfortunately, I've elevated our temperatures for the weekend again. Which day could be near 100 degrees coming up in your forecast?
Woo, okay, it's going to be hot. Thank you so much for joining us here on a busy Wednesday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has the morning off. We are going to begin right now with breaking news out of East Tennessee. That's where the TBI says 2 Blount County deputies are facing injuries after a shooting. TBI says the deputies responded to a domestic disturbance at a Rockford home, and now we're mapping it out right here for you. Now, they say when they got there, a man inside the home began firing. This was Tuesday. The TBI says 59-year-old Ronald Millsaps was arrested after barricading himself inside the home. The 2 men shot are Deputy Corbin Smith and Deputy Edwin Walker. The good news is this morning, they are in stable condition. We'll share more updates as they come in. Closer to home, though, we're also following more breaking news updates out of South Nashville. Take a look at this video. We now know one person is behind bars in connection to a homicide investigation. Metro Police say 18-year-old Malachi Rabaka was found shot to death inside this Edge Hill apartment complex. This video was around 2:30 Tuesday afternoon. Well, now this morning, there are arrest records showing Deterius Watkins was arrested overnight and charged with that teenager's death. As of right now, he is being held without bond. This Wednesday morning, we also like to share the top headlines you'll want to know before heading out the door that you're likely going to see trending over on Fox17.com. We know one person is dead and a suspect is in custody after officials say that a man hijacked a bus and led Atlanta police on a multi-county chase. This was breaking news yesterday. It began with gunfire on a bus over in downtown Atlanta. Imagine that. Well, police say they then had to chase the bus on I-85 during rush hour. The bus hit several vehicles before ultimately coming to a stop. One person, though, on that bus was killed. The person responsible, though, is behind bars. Talking about politics now, the House could vote on holding Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress as soon as today, this morning. House Republicans are moving to hold Garland in contempt for refusing to turn over audio recordings of President Joe Biden's interviews with former special counsel Robert Hur. Hur, by the way, if you don't know this, investigated Biden's handling of classified materials. Going to Robertson County now in Operation Crime and Justice because another deadly shooting is under investigation this morning. Again, this is Robertson County. Deputies say a man was found dead near the train tracks right near North Quail Road yesterday. They say they believe that he was shot and then brought to that particular location, though. Deputies, though, not yet identifying the man. They're just sharing these preliminary findings. There are more updates to come. If you want to find more stories just like this, you can get it delivered right to your inbox every single morning by simply signing up for our Fox 17 News daily newsletter. You can make that happen by heading here, showing you right here on the screen. It's our fox17.com homepage. Right now, though, we have to talk about the weather. It's going to be a scorcher. You were talking 100 now, Greg?
Ooh, it's possible on Sunday for Father's Day. It really is possible. It's not a guarantee, but the odds are looking better and better every day that we're going to get warmer and warmer and hotter into the weekend. Initially, we were hoping we'd see a shower or two on Sunday. I pushed that back to Monday, so our next rain chance not until Monday to Tuesday. So the big three things you need to know when it comes to getting our week going: 24 more hours of comfort, and that is it. Even hotter weekend temperatures, but take a look here. Sun trying to come up for us here this morning, and we're going to have a sunrise in about 15-20 minutes from right now. A few clouds to start the morning, but mainly a sunny day is in store for us. We're all clear when it comes to code red. That arrow not going to move for now. However, if we do end up near 100 on Sunday, that will be a code red day for dangerous heat. Between now and then, lower to middle 90s starting tomorrow. Right now, 57 degrees. Crystal clear outside, not much to worry about. This is our last morning in the 50s. Taking a look later on this afternoon, 80 degrees by noon, 84, 85. That'll be our high today. This could be our last 80-degree day for the next 2 weeks. We'll look at your 7-day forecast coming up in a few, and I'll look back at the last couple of Father's Days and how they stack up to where we'll be this upcoming Sunday. Erica?
Greg, oh my gosh. Okay, just get your fans ready right now. We do want to check in real quick for your steer clear traffic update. Not too much is happening right now. We do want to take a live look, though. I-40 at Spence Lane. You can see for yourself. Traffic is running smoothly. Just not a lot of folks who are out heading to work as of right now. But we know that's going to change, and it can change quickly. So we'll continue sharing all of your steer clear traffic updates up until 9 o'clock. We got you covered. Let's talk about boaters, though, because some boaters, they are outraged that a privately owned marina could be built on public property over at the station Camp Creek. It's located over in Gallatin. The property, though, is controlled and managed by the Army Corps of Engineers. Some people, though, telling Fox 17 News that, hey, we're not happy about this proposal because they say it's not fair to taxpayers to have a private marina on public land. What do you think about this? Others, though, say this would help because almost all the marinas on Old Hickory Lake have wait lists. The Foxland Harbor Marina, though, would have a dry storage facility as well as a fuel dock, a restaurant, a canoe and kayak launch, and leaders say much more. The Army Corps of Engineers say that they have received a lot of public response on this particular topic. So they're sharing some more updates and letting folks know that a petition was created. It's called Stop Foxland Harbor Marina over in Gallatin, Tennessee. And it shows people concerned about wildlife and traffic and the fact that private marinas, they say, should not be built on public property. The Army Corps of Engineers say they are currently evaluating and consolidating public comments regarding this proposed project. They're also finishing the evaluation under the National Environmental Policy Act. So if we want to know, or I should say we want to know what you think, tell us by heading on over to our Fox Nashville social media pages. And if you want to read more about this particular story, visit our Facebook page. Just scroll on down. Let us know what you think. We always want to hear from you all.
Coming up, I'll tell you about a proposal that aims to make Bellevue safer following a recent string of violent crimes.
We're also taking you to the Capitol this Wednesday morning. Good morning. Making headlines this Wednesday, there is a new proposal for a police precinct over in Bellevue. This comes after repeated crime stories, including a woman who was attacked with a fire extinguisher while walking her dog. Right now, though, Fox 17 News' Kieran Aguilar is joining us live in Bellevue to explain what their councilman is now proposing.
Good morning, Erica. The councilman is saying that he wants more officers right here in Bellevue patrolling the streets to make this community safer. And yes, as you mentioned, there was a woman who police say was recently attacked while walking her dog with a fire extinguisher. And you might also remember that we reported that right here in Red Caboose Park almost 2 weeks ago, a teenager was shot and then later died. His memorial is right here behind me to remember him. But the people of this neighborhood say they want the violent crime to stop. Although the numbers from Metro Police don't show a rise in crime throughout the years, we have reported on what seems to be back-to-back violent crime. Council member Jason Spain says he is trying to stop crime from happening before it gets worse. He proposed a Bellevue police precinct in the capital improvement budget to start the conversation, but believes the real change is in getting more officers to patrol. He tells us there is more, though, still to be done.
More police is certainly part of the answer, but it's not the whole solution. And we need to look at the underlying issues that are leading to these crimes being committed in the first place and how we can address them.
Bellevue's Councilwoman Sherry Weiner says that there has been an increase of patrols here in Bellevue and says that there is a West precinct to cover this area to keep us safe. Councilman Spain says that there are only 5 officers working a shift at a time. We reached out to Metro Nashville Police for comment, and we're waiting to hear back. Reporting live in Bellevue, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. A judge denied bond yesterday for the 73-year-old man accused of starting a massive apartment fire in Miami. Juan Francisco Figueroa is accused of starting the fire and shooting a worker at the apartment complex. A bizarre story. Well, the flames on Monday took 8 hours for firefighters to put out. It was the largest fire that Miami, according to firefighters, has seen in 25 years.
Coming up in your forecast, we've been talking about it all week, and now we're almost there. You can almost see a little haze beginning to settle into over downtown Nashville, and we're talking about a prolonged stretch of 90-degree heat. Gear up for it coming up in your forecast.
I'm not ready, Greg. All right, let's take a live look at your steer clear traffic. I-40 at Donaldson Pike. Right now, we're not seeing any issues. Love to say that. More steer clear traffic updates, though, throughout this morning. And we're taking a close look. 5:14 is the time. Let's talk about politics because reactions are pouring in from Capitol Hill after the first son, we're talking about President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was found guilty of felony gun charges. Well, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are weighing in on the felony conviction now. Hunter's attorneys say they are, quote, naturally disappointed by the verdict. President Biden has said that he's going to accept the results of Hunter's trial and he is not going to pardon his son. Now some are asking the question this Wednesday morning, how much time could Hunter Biden face? Providing some insight into what to expect is Nashville attorney David Rabin.
Federal statutes require 10 years minimum. The judge would have to depart enormously to put him on some sort of probation. He may depart slightly, but I'm looking for a sentence somewhere in the 4 to 5 year range, something like that, because it's a federal gun charge. And they take those things really seriously.
Keep in mind, Hunter Biden still faces federal tax charges as well. So that particular case is scheduled to go on trial, but it's not going to happen until September. But we are taking a look over on our Fox Nashville X account asking this question, whether you think Hunter Biden should get prison time for his 3 felony gun convictions. Take a look at your screen right now for that result. As of right now, 80.8% of you all say yes, he should face some time. There is still plenty of time, though, for you to go ahead and sound off by heading to our Fox Nashville social media accounts. Well, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to heat. It's Father's Day weekend. Folks are trying to make all the plans, but maybe you just want to stay inside with Dad and not go into the heat.
Dad might appreciate that a little bit. I got a 99 in the forecast.
Yeah, don't be asking Dad to grill out. This might not be the weekend for that.
No, just order some carry out. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, get some delivery, enjoy the couch, find something to do with Dad that involves some air conditioning maybe, no matter what that might be. Because today's our last day in the 80s for right now. And what I mean for right now, I'm looking long term and I'm seeing that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, there might only be 2 or 3 days that are in the 80s. Next 2 to 3 weeks can only be 2 or 3 days that are in the 80s. That's the chance we have to keep a prolonged heat wave going. We're cranking it up. We're going to see it all the way through the end of the 7-day forecast starting tomorrow. And I've taken our sunshine all the way through Sunday, which sounds good until the fact you know that it's going to be hotter and hotter every day we're sunny until we see some rain. Here's our South Nashville camera. Everything looking really good here. And I know we have a look at our Nissan Stadium camera. I want to take that, if our producers can, next time we do weather, because it almost looks like the sky's on fire. It's kind of a sign of things to come. The sunrise beautiful this morning. All clear. When it comes to our code red threat level, just watching the heat get hotter and hotter here into the weekend. Believe it or not, we've only had 3 90-degree days so far this year. We're already in the middle of June, but we're going to have at least 6 in a row. And again, it could be most of the next 2 to 3 weeks that'll be at or above 90 degrees. What to wear, whatever you can stay cool with. Like I've been saying, whatever that is that makes you comfortable and cool with a ton of sunshine and a lot of heat coming your way, that's going to be your best bet. You know what makes you comfortable, but go for that mindset and that mentality. Out the door to 55 degrees this morning. It feels cool. That's deceiving. We're going to be about 30 degrees warmer later on this afternoon. We'll be up to 63 by the time we hit 8 a.m. and into the 70s by 10 o'clock this morning. So it's a quick warm up here. Backyard forecast. Last good day where it's fairly comfortable with low humidity to kind of burn off a little bit of steam, a little bit of energy before the heat really does take back over. 80 degrees at noon, 84 will be right around our high temperature at 3 p.m. We'll be at or above 80 from noon all the way through 6, 7 o'clock later on tonight. 7-day forecast tells the story very well. You see that quick. It's almost like flipping a light switch. We go from 85 today to 94 tomorrow, middle 90s on Friday and Saturday, 99 on Father's Day, 95 on Monday. Hopefully, we see a few showers and weak storms on Tuesday to attempt to cool us down a little bit right now, but I'm not really biting into the rain chances just yet. We're just still too far away from next week.
Steer clear traffic gets us out and about this morning at 5:19. This is going to be I-40 near Donaldson over there on that east side as you make that drive in. We're doing okay so far. No major tie-ups over there coming in from the Donaldson area, just like we like it for this time of the morning. So we'll continue to follow things out there, but right now we're doing good. This is 24 at Shelby Avenue in the heart of downtown. Also looking just fine out there this morning as well. We'll continue to watch things on the road.
Justin, thank you. Making national headlines, a congressional panel questioned former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo about the thousands of nursing home patients who died from COVID under his administration. Well, Cuomo's actions in the past and present have been harshly criticized. Listen.
But what the investigations found was the Department of Justice investigation, 3 of them, found no wrongdoing. Investigations found that New York followed the federal guidance that was established.
The COVID committee does plan on releasing the transcript of Cuomo's interviews, and Republicans say they also want to bring him in for a public hearing in the near future. Well, happening today, the Tennessee Valley Healthcare System is hosting a Pride Counts event. They say it's in support of June, which is recognized as Pride Month. Well, this particular Pride Month celebration is happening today. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It is open to veterans, family members, and also VA employees. This event, they say, is going to have photo booths, face painting, music, promotional items, and food as well. They also tell us that it encourages veterans, family, and staff members to interact with their services center and receive support in their respected communities. So this event is going to take place at the Nashville VA Medical Center. If you would like to get some more updates about this event, you can head on over to fox17.com. Again, it takes place starting this morning, starting at 11. Well, there are multiple Juneteenth celebrations happening across the city, so we're going to explain.
Ponce Law.
5:23 is the time. It's called Metro's Better Together program. It's a joint partnership between Metro Schools and Nashville State. They're trying to help seniors get a pre-law associate's degree or criminal justice degree within the time they are still in high school. Now, last year alone, 34 students were able to graduate with that criminal justice or pre-law associate's degree even before they graduated high school. It's something that the school director is very proud of and something they want to expand to a brand new school.
I have the privilege of announcing that the next early college site will be, Can I get a drum roll? Cane Ridge High School.
So Cane Ridge High School getting that brand new program that's coming to them. Those students will be able to take classes coming up here starting this fall that will help them work towards that associate's degree. They're hoping that by giving folks an associate's degree, it will spur them further to go into college and finish their bachelor's or maybe even higher.
5:24 our time, and here a beautiful day. One last time, look at your screen. This is the camera view I wanted to see here. Look at the sunrise coming up over Nissan Stadium. One of our more beautiful sunrises so far this weekend. One last great looking day is ahead of us before we turn everything on to the heat. Almost like the sky is telling us just wait for what's coming later this week when it comes to the heat cranking up. And we're talking about Bonnaroo here. So many people that are going to be coming to Middle Tennessee within the next several days and might not know what's coming their way. Here's the forecast. 90 degrees tomorrow in Manchester, 92 on Friday, 94 on Saturday, 95 on Sunday. Nighttime temperatures upper 60s to right near 70. Humidity adds back in. We know camping grounds, a lot of overnight activities that happen over there too. It is going to be hot. It is going to be sunny. There's no escaping it. You got to find ways to hydrate. If you're going out there or you know anyone who is, give them the heads up right now. Also, getting the Fox 17 Code Red Weather app is going to be very helpful when it comes to dangerous heat. Any heat index alerts that we get, heat advisories and things of that nature, you can always get to your phone. Just by scanning the QR code, you can go to the Apple Store, Google Play Store, just type in Fox 17 Code Red, free app, and it will also help you anywhere in the country. It's not just good here in Middle Tennessee. You have local radars wherever you go and local alerts to any severe weather anywhere across the U.S.
Still clear traffic for you this morning at 5:26. This is a quick look here in downtown Nashville. You can see for yourself 24 at Shelby. Traffic moving along pretty well. No big problems so far there in downtown. We do know that things will bunch up a little bit later in the morning, but as of right this second, we're doing okay as you get out on the roads. We'll continue to follow things for you live in Local 39. Well, looking ahead to the weekend, many people from all walks of life will be celebrating Juneteenth. In Murfreesboro, the Bradley Academy Museum and Cultural Center will be hosting the 2024 Juneteenth Street Festival, along with multiple blocks of the South Academy Street near the museum. Now, the celebration is going to run from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. You can look forward to musical performances as well as dance performances and activities for children, plus displays of arts, food trucks, and a lot more. Again, that's happening out there coming up this weekend for Juneteenth. Well, WeGo riders are a little concerned about the violence at bus stops and the buses themselves even. We're going to tell you how local leaders are trying to fight this issue.
Coming up, I'll tell you about a proposal following a recent string of violent crime in Bellevue.
Right now at Lazy Boy, get 2 recliners for one low price, starting at $799.99. Available in fabric, leather, and featuring power mechanisms. 2 recliners, one low price, starting at $799.99. Right now at all 3 Lazy Boy locations.
It's really hard to stay on the top of your game all the time. It's tough to hold that #1 spot. Everybody is always gunning for it. They're always shooting for it. I never would have once dreamed as a kid that I'd ever be to that level of being able to win as much as I've been able to win. Winning in the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, the Truck Series, and accumulating the over 220-something wins. It's been an awesome ride, awesome career, and I want to keep adding to that legacy. There's still boxes to go out there and go get and go check.
With FanDuel, your group chat will be blowing up every game of the NBA playoffs. Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Plus, with live betting, you can get in on all the action from tip-off to the final buzzer. It's the NBA playoffs on America's #1 sports book. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win.
We're putting our foot down to keep our feet up, like way up, with Lazy Boy.
We worked overtime. Now it's TV time.
Get 2 recliners, one low price, starting at $799.99. Right now at all 3 Lazy Boy locations.
Every Saturday, your game is on Fox. I mean, just feast your eyes on this.
Because if baseball is as American as apple pie, then Fox Saturday Baseball is one heck of a slice.
I feel that even with the security that we have, we're still seeing the same activities and things happening and fights actually occurring even after all of these incidents occur. So if they were seriously about making sure that we were safe, they would have actually addressed these issues to never have happened again, but they're continuing to happen.
The Nashville Mayor's Office is focusing on public transportation, backing an almost $7 billion plan when it comes to improvements. The mayor says that plan does include safety changes and, of course, will continue following up on that particular transportation plan and more updates regarding crime in the future. We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist who says, you know what, it's just going to be hot, hotter, and even more hot, basically?
Basically, everything on the 7-day forecast has some version of the word hot starting tomorrow. Taking a look right now, we are 3 minutes into our official daylight here. Sun just coming up over the horizon. There's Nissan Stadium right in front of it. And we're just gearing up for what is going to be a very hot stretch of weather. What's new this morning only makes the heat a little more intense for the weekend. So today, our last day in the 80s for the foreseeable future. I mean, all the way into and out of the end of the 7-day forecast. Taking a look. Even hotter weekend temperatures because I've taken away the rain chance on Sunday. It was really small to begin the week, and now it just looks to be sunny. That's taken our temperature from what looked like a 96, 97 degree day to now a 99 degree day for Sunday, for Father's Day. We're still all clear for Code Red, but by then I would imagine that I'll be putting us into Code Red for the heat and the dangers that come with that by the time we get to Sunday. For right now, focus on the good. The sun is coming up. Come back. Come back. All right, fine. There we go. Taking a look at 57 degrees right now. It is crystal clear. We're going to work you through your 7-day forecast. We'll look at Father's Day. We'll compare it to years past. We've got a Bonnaroo forecast for you. There are a lot of things coming your way, and especially knowing how to take care of your plants in your garden when we have no rain in so many days in the 90s.
Steer clear traffic as you get out the door. Let's take a quick look here at what we're facing on the interstates. This is going to be I-24, Shelby Avenue. As you make that drive into downtown Nashville this morning, we're looking really nice so far on that drive. No big problems in either direction. Out near the airport, also looking good. I-40 at Donaldson Pike, out there close to B&A. We are also looking just fine. This far lane over here is where people jump off from the interstate onto the Nashville International Airport property. If you haven't been out there in a while, things are changing.
Justin, thank you. Making headlines this Wednesday morning. After recent violent crimes over in Bellevue, there is a new proposal for a police precinct to boost officer numbers in that particular area. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live in Bellevue. And Karen, what are folks saying about this particular proposal? And tell us more about the area that you're in and why that's important.
Good morning, Erica. Well, people tell me that they don't want Bellevue to become a high crime area. And you might remember that we recently reported on a woman who was walking her dog and was attacked and sprayed with a fire extinguisher at an apartment complex nearby. And we also reported that police say a teenage boy, only 13 years old, Aiden Hayes, was shot right here in this parking lot at Red Caboose Park. His body found right there behind me in that corner. And I want you to take a walk with me. Take a look at this memorial that the community has laid out on his behalf. This is showing just exactly what this neighborhood is facing. And as for the proposal, this is just a way to try to make all the violent crime to stop. Councilman Jason Spain proposed a police precinct in the capital improvements budget to start the conversation. It would cost upwards of $22 million. However, Spain tells me that getting a new building might be hard to do, and the focus is getting more officers on the street. He tells me the West Precinct covers Bellevue, but it is very understaffed with only 5 officers working a shift. Charlie Tygard has lived in Bellevue for 51 years and is sick of the recent rise of crime.
And I stress the word overwhelming majority of citizens of Bellevue would greatly support that because we know that if the situation is getting worse, the best solution is to attack it head on. And the first attack head on is to bring more police officers in the community, whether it be through the precinct or whether it be through patrols or whether it be through events that invite our policemen to participate in the community.
Bellevue's Councilwoman Sherry Weiner tells me that a building won't be enough and that there has been an increase of patrols right here in Bellevue. And I've reached out to Metro Nashville Police to get comment on the building and also If that is true, in fact, and we haven't heard back yet, reporting live in Bellevue, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. Okay, so we've heard from council members, and we also want to hear from you all. Here's the question that we're asking over on our Fox Nashville X account. Take a look. Do you think a new MMPD precinct in Bellevue is going to help prevent crime in that area? 56.1% of you all say yes. This particular question still has time for you to vote in. So head on over to our Fox Nashville X account, also our Fox Nashville Facebook page to sound off, and we'll have more coverage throughout this morning. Just ahead, though, as migrants travel through Mexico to the U.S. border, we're covering the push for more aggressive policies. And we're talking 5:39 is the time, and right now this Wednesday morning we're showing you a beautiful Metro Center shot, showing you the sunrise out there. Now listen, it's just going to be hot the next couple of days, really hot. In fact, Greg was talking about reaching nearly 100 degrees Father's Day weekend. He is going to share the full forecast. Also, I want to point out that this is where the Titans practice center is. Well, we're going to have some more from head coach Callahan regarding the Titans in the upcoming season in a couple of minutes. Right now, though, in world news, Mexican leaders say they're cracking down on migrants attempting to cross the border and enter the U.S. illegally. Now, this does follow growing pressure from U.S. lawmakers. Millions of migrants have been facing harsher treatment from authorities in Mexico. Mexico's president says the policies are now intended to wear migrants out until they simply stop trying to cross over. Their lawmakers also say policies are deterring many migrants from making the risky travel into the U.S. Arrivals to the U.S.-Mexico border have reportedly seen a 40% drop from their all-time high, which was counted back in December. Okay, I talked about the weather. Let's get on right over to Greg Bobus. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, this is definitely that transition day where we have a little bit of yesterday and a little bit of what's to come tomorrow, with temperatures boosting themselves by about 4 or 5 degrees. 67 degrees will be our temperature here at 9 a.m. So gardening is a must this week. If you want to keep your garden going, you want to keep the flowers alive, you have to do all the work yourself. Mother Nature's not giving you a drop of rain until at least Monday or Tuesday of next week. Especially important is to know when to water. All of the hours that have red boxes are no-goes for watering. What happens is you water when you have the peak heating of the day and the strong sun rays. It can actually start to burn the leaves a little bit, and that water doesn't sink in to the moisture of the soil, or I should say for that moisture to go to the roots in the soil. So make sure you do it right after sunrise, not before, and right before sunset, not after. Everything gets a chance to absorb, and then the plants get a little extra love. Now, when to mow? Well, if you didn't do it yesterday, I'll give you one more good day. Now, you technically can every day. They're technically green lights. Just know that the discomfort is going to be there. Tomorrow and Friday, highs will be in the middle 90s, and by Friday, the humidity also picks up. So today might be your best bet to have the least amount of, or I should say the most amount of comfort you can doing outdoor yard work.
Morning to I-24 at Harding Place. That's over in the south and east side of town. Traffic over there moving along really nicely. We are in good shape out there this morning overall. Drive times are basically on the green at this particular moment here as I reach in my pocket, grab my handy clicker so I can take us across town. This is going to be I-65 at I-24 at the junction there, over there and on the north side of town. Traffic streaming in, but this traffic will only get thicker as the morning goes on. So heads up on that as we continue to watch things at the traffic department for you. Stereo Clear Traffic live through 9.
Well, just ahead here on Fox 17 News, a man wanted in the death of his wife caught across state lines.
We make it happen.
In Operation Crime and Justice, Georgia police arresting an East Tennessee man charged with murdering his wife, and the details for this case are disturbing. Do have to warn you. The McMinnville County Sheriff says James Coy Johnson shot his wife, Debbie, back on May 30th and left her to die on their front porch. Now, this particular man that we're showing you a photo of had already been arrested last year for abusing his wife. Well, deputies say Johnson was found in Georgia last Thursday when his car showed up on license plate readers. That's how they were able to track him down. He is now going to be returned to Tennessee and facing first-degree murder charges. He's also facing multiple charges, we understand, over in Georgia. Making headlines, a deadly commuter bus hijacking and wild police chase through Atlanta ended up with one man behind bars. I mean, this was happening during rush hour traffic. Can you imagine being on this bus? Police say they responded to a shots fired call all during rush hour traffic yesterday in Atlanta, Georgia. This bus, you can see right here, it was on the interstate. The bus ended up hitting several cars during the chase. The chase finally, though, ended near Stone Mountain, Georgia, where police, they were able to arrest the man responsible. They also, though, found a person with a gunshot wound who died of their injuries later at the hospital. By the way, there were 17 people on the bus, including the bus driver, but police say no one else was hurt during that particular hijacking. Well, a 77-year-old golfer says he's lucky to be alive after surviving a heart attack on the golf course. Fox 17 News' Grace Haiba reporting now.
It was just a quiet Sunday afternoon.
By all accounts, May 19th was shaping up to be a normal day.
I don't remember any huffing and puffing or anything like that.
For Tom Rouse,
I walk when I play.
Blue skies above Northridge Country Club meant one thing. But just moments after his group teed off on the 17th hole, things went dark.
They said there was no pulse and you were blue. You were gone.
The 77-year-old had a heart attack, suddenly collapsing on the fairway. In a stroke of fate,
I had my 5-year-old daughter with me.
Dr. Joe Baumgartner and his youngest had just pulled into the driveway of their home near the course when he heard his neighbor shouting for help.
I actually ran through this house.
The UNC Rex cardiologist racing over to help, taking over CPR.
He had died here in the middle of the fairway.
The group had already called 911, but Baumgartner explains it was a second call to the pro shop that made the difference.
They knew that there was an AED, and really it was that decision that saved Tom's life.
That AED is one of 14 the club has across its property. The device buying Rouse vital time while EMS took him to the hospital. Surgeons say he had a 99% blockage in his heart's largest artery.
You sometimes hear it called the Widowmaker. It's the kind of blockage that is fatal.
Overlooking the course for the first time since that day, Rouse says there aren't enough words to express his gratitude.
I've survived this, and I think there's a reason for it. We'll find out what that is.
With his new wearable defibrillator, Rouse says he thinks he has a pretty good excuse for a mulligan and is looking forward to finishing his round soon. Grace Haba, WRAL News.
Grace, thank you. I know a lot of folks want to get out and golf. Today might be the best day to make that happen. This weekend for Father's Day, it's too hot.
If your tee time is not right when the sun rises, starting tomorrow, then I wouldn't go for it
I
at
say
all.
that, but I know there's plenty of fathers who would say, you know what, I'll just go ahead and embrace the heat.
Yeah.
Get out of the house.
Quite frankly, yeah, get out of the house and just have some alone time.
Yeah.
You know, or find a buddy or two or three. Taking a look here, today's forecast, 85 degrees. The warming starts about 4 or 5 degrees warmer than yesterday. A touch of humidity, but you really don't notice that until after sunset tonight into tomorrow. That's when the humidity really will start to kick in. You're going to definitely notice it, though, 24 hours from now. And our UV index has gone up for today and tomorrow. The burn time now in about 20 minutes if your skin's not protected, whether that be clothing or whatever you do. Just make sure you know 20 minutes is your window when you'll start getting a little red, a little sun-kissed here. Taking a look at our temperatures. This is starting tomorrow. Forecast of 94 on Thursday, 95 on Friday, 94 on Saturday, and I've gone to 99 degrees. Could be close to record heat on Friday and on Sunday. I mean, we're real close to that record, so can't completely rule out a 100-degree temperature on the map. Now, here's how the records work, though. The records are kept at Nashville International Airport. So if the airport doesn't hit 100, but other areas around downtown do, we officially do not hit the record in the books. Taking a look, we're not done after Sunday. Monday, 95, no relief there. And then Tuesday, maybe a few storms, but we're not really hyping the possibility of rain just yet. We're still roughly a week out.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get to I-40 at Fester's Lane as you're taking a live look here at a wide shot of downtown Nashville, courtesy of the I-40 at Fester's Lane camera. They've zoomed out a little bit here because there's nothing going on the road, so we might as well enjoy the skyline and the sky. And we're doing fine out there so far this morning. No big problems in either direction. Keep in mind we're in the summer pattern. A lot of people taking vacation this week. Of course, we're just coming off of the CMA Fest, so lighter traffic than usual in locations like downtown. We are expecting a bit of a pop in traffic coming up here at our 6 o'clock hour, so we're going to get to that and keep you covered on the roads.
Right now, though, the Tennessee Valley Healthcare System is hosting a Pride Counts event in support of June Bring Pride Month. So our Fox 17 News photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey is live at the VA Medical Center right now, giving us a live look outside. Now, this particular Pride event is open to veterans, family members, and VA employees. Those who attend can enjoy some music, some food, and much more. This particular celebration does kick off later this morning at 11 o'clock. It's going to end, though, at 1 p.m. today. Again, it's at the Nashville VA Medical Center that is located over on 24th Avenue South. Hundreds of top swimmers will compete for just a few U.S. Olympic team spots, including, though, one Clarksville high schooler. How cool is that? And Elon Musk is no longer suing OpenAI. The developments in the battle over new artificial intelligence.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting.
429,000.
Welcome back. 5:55 is the time, and right now, Fox 17 News taking a live look at the Nashville skyline. Our Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus was saying earlier today that so far this year, we have reached 90 degrees 3 times. But that is about to change later this week, heading into Father's Day weekend in Bonnaroo. Just in time for all of that, he'll share the full forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Right now, though, let's talk about the Olympics. U.S. Olympic swimming trials begin this weekend, and Clarksville high schooler Blake Amlick is competing for a spot on the Olympic team. He's 17 years old and the 13th ranked swimmer in the nation for the class of 2025. That's fantastic. In Indianapolis, though, take a look. A replica of the Eiffel Tower has been set up to celebrate the 2024 Paris Games. Close to 1,000 athletes will compete for 52 spots. That does not include our Code Red meteorologist, Greg Bobus. He is not competing for a spot with the U.S. Olympics. Is that correct, or are you?
I would start swimming now and still wouldn't finish before that.
Oh, okay.
So there's absolutely no way.
I'd give it a go. I don't think I can compete with that Clarksville high schooler, though. Congrats to him.
No, absolutely not. Taking a look here. Our dog of the day, Daisy, who's also from Clarksville. Taking a look here. And this is how all of us are going to be kind of looking at the sun the next couple of days. Like, all right, we're just trying to beat the heat, trying to beat the heat. Daisy sent in by Amy from Clarksville. And this is going to be the last easy morning for a dog walk. Everything gets hotter very quickly for the rest of this week. It's also our last morning in the 50s. 55 degrees at 6 o'clock, 58 degrees at 7, low to middle 60s, 8 o'clock through 9 o'clock. Beautiful. Sunshine, no humidity. Been saying those words all week long. Well, I'm about to stop saying those words when we go into tomorrow and the day after. You can send us your dog of the day photos. You just go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus, find that pinned post right there with that picture, and you can just tell us where you're from. If you have any stories about your four-legged friend, that's how you get your dog right here on air on Fox 17 News this morning. And we show the dog of the day every morning from 5 until 9, and we'll also get you a curious question of the day and a look ahead to an increase in temperature for your upcoming Father's Day coming up as we go into our 6 o'clock half hour in just a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic out there. Let's get to I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is down in the Antioch area. As you can see there, traffic moving along really nicely. Starting to bunch up a little bit as you get towards the Antioch area. So far, though, not causing major problems on this particular part of the drive. We're going to be taking a look a little bit further back from this and other things that could get in your way with your traffic. But right now, we're doing okay here just before 6 a.m.
Justin, thank you so much. We're always talking about artificial intelligence. That's what it seems like. And now we have another update. Elon Musk this time has dropped his lawsuit against the maker of ChatGPT. Yesterday, the billionaire's lawyers dismissed the lawsuit against OpenAI and CEO Sam Altman. Musk co-founded the artificial intelligence startup back in 2015, and then in 2018, he left. He accused the company of reserving advanced AI technology for private customers, but OpenAI pushed back at those claims, arguing that Musk is jealous and that the case should be dismissed. Musk lawyers, though, did not express why they decided to go ahead and drop the lawsuit. Now, this particular announcement to drop the lawsuit comes after Musk made a string of social media posts, of course, on Monday, criticizing OpenAI after Apple announced its partnership with the company. Let's talk about an important recall alert. Honda recalling more than 114,000 vehicles because of a display error. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says this particular defect can cause the rearview camera to fail when the car's engine is started with a key. That's not good. The 2018 through 2022 Honda Fit and 2019 through 2022 Honda HR-V, they are included in this particular recall alert. Owners of those models should get a letter about their car by July 8th. For more information about this recall, though, go to fox17.com. If you're trying to make some plans for this weekend, Fox 17 News, we're giving you the chance to receive 2 tickets for Brew at the Zoo. It's Friday, June 14th at the Nashville Zoo. You can enjoy the animals, the live music, the food trucks, and dozens of craft beers at this very unique after-hours event. And you do have to be 21 and up in order to participate. Scan the QR code that we're showing you right here on your screen in order to get involved. You can also head on over to our website, fox17.com/contest for all the details. I do have to say message and data rates may apply, but again, we have all the details over on fox17.com, so go check it out.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, police making an arrest overnight regarding a deadly Edge Hill shooting. We'll have the very latest update. And a proposed marina on public land is running into opposition from some of those who say they enjoy Old Hickory Lake and don't want any changes.
Coming up, I'll tell you about a proposal that wants to make Bellevue safer following a recent string of violent crimes.
Thanks so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning. I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has the morning off. Right now, though, we are going to start with breaking news updates. We now know one person is in custody in connection with a homicide over in South Nashville. This was a look at the scene yesterday. Metro Police say 18-year-old Malachi Rybaka was shot to death inside the Edge Hill Apartments around 2:30 p.m. Now arrest records show that Deterius Watkins was arrested overnight and charged with the teenager's death. We understand he is currently being held without bond. Also making headlines, there is a new proposal for a police precinct over in Bellevue. This comes after recent crimes in that area, and now homeowners say they want their neighborhood to be safer. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live in Bellevue to explain what the councilman is proposing about a precinct there. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning. Well, he thinks a police precinct in Bellevue is a good idea, but what he thinks is an even better idea is getting more police officers on the streets to patrol. Now, this comes after we've reported on a woman just as recently as Sunday night that police say was attacked while walking her dog and sprayed with a fire extinguisher in an apartment complex nearby. You might also remember that we reported on a shooting that happened right here in the parking lot of Red Caboose Park, where one teenager, 13 years old, Aiden Hayes, was shot, then later died at the hospital. His memorial is right here behind me. People of the community laying the memorial down to remember him. They say in this neighborhood that they want the violent crime to stop. Although the numbers from Metro Police don't show a rise in crime throughout the years, we have reported on what seems to be back-to-back violent crime. Council member Jason Spain says he is trying to stop crime from happening before it gets worse. He proposed a Bellevue police precinct in the capital improvements budget to start the conversation, but believes the real change is in getting more officers to patrol. He tells us, though, there is still more to be done.
More police is certainly part of the answer, but it's not the whole solution. And we need to look at the underlying issues that are leading to these crimes being committed in the first place and how we can address them.
Bellevue Councilwoman Sherry Weiner tells Fox 17 News that there has been an increase of patrols in the area and that there is a West precinct that covers Bellevue for safety. Councilman Spain says that there are only 5 officers that are working a shift there at a time. We reached out to Metro Nashville Police for comment, and we're waiting to hear back. Reporting live in Bellevue, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, right now in Operation Crime and Justice, 2 12-year-olds are accused of stealing a Metro middle school teacher's SUV and then driving it from Nashville all the way to Bucksnort. So I'm circling right behind us here to give you more perspective about where this is. It's about an hour west of Nashville on I-40. The children attend Two Rivers Middle School over in Donaldson. The parents, though, helped in the search by tracking one of the children's iPads. Read more updates over on fox17.com. Greg.
6:04, you're in the 50s. A nice, beautiful start to the day, but yep, the screen says it all. The next weather maker is hot. If you've been with us at all this week, you know that's all we've been talking about is when the heat arrives tomorrow into our Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and beyond. So 24 hours more of just continued comfort. The humidity is down as well. I mean, it really is a great start to the day. Even hotter for the weekend, though. High temperatures, I've boosted them up, and they were already in the mid to upper 90s. Sunday could be up to near 100 degrees. Let that sink in. That's Father's Day, too. No rain until Monday or Tuesday, and even that rain chance is really small. So right now, enjoy today. If you didn't get all of your outdoor work done yesterday, you didn't have a chance to get outside and enjoy the day. The sun will feel very hot during the afternoon, but we're not going to get above 85 degrees, and the sun is already up for us. What does this mean when it comes to Code Red and the heat? We're going to keep it all clear when it comes to Code Red all the way until at least Saturday into Sunday. But the big question is, how many 90s in a row are we going to get before we can see a little bit of relief? And we're going to try to tackle that for you momentarily. Just know that right now you're out the door to 58 degrees. It is mostly cloudy, and that's going to break up, though. The cloud cover's already been decreasing. Here's a sneak peek of your 7-day forecast and what we're going to put together as far as all the puzzle pieces in the next few forecasts. 94 starting tomorrow, 90s all the way through the 7-day forecast. We're going to compare Father's Day of this year, which is Sunday, that 99, to the last couple of years and see how close it is to possibly tying or breaking a temperature record.
All right, let's get to your steer clear traffic out there. We've just picked up something on I-24 at Bell Road. This is over in Antioch. We've got Metro Police on the scene, TDOT on the scene as well, dealing with the slowdown that has at least one lane shut down and the shoulder shut down. Actually, it's 2 lanes. We got 2 lanes that are shut down here. This one and the shoulder that are all shut down, squeezing traffic over. You can see the X's there, letting people know about it. So you can try to take Murfreesboro Road if you would like to try and steer clear. Again, this is right at Bell Road. As you make that drive into town, TDOT is now there. It looks like they're going to try to move the vehicle from one side of the road to the other here. That's why TDOT's getting in position to stop all traffic. You see the sign right there. It says, "Do not pass," in the big bold letters. So heads up in that direction. Traffic is stopped for just a little bit here while they move that, and that's going to cause some backup. So the best way to steer clear, again, Murfreesboro Pike for the next few minutes until they are able to get this out of the way.
We have continuing coverage, talking with some boaters who say they're frustrated after learning a privately owned marina could be built on public property right at the edge of Old Hickory Lake. The Gallatin property is controlled by the Army Corps of Engineers, which does have the option to lease it out. The Foxland Harbor Marina could look like this if the project is approved. Take a look. The marina would replace the Station Camp Creek boat ramp that's located over in Gallatin. And the plan includes dry storage for boats, a restaurant, a boat ramp, canoe, and kayak launch. The Army Corps of Engineers say they have been getting many public responses about this particular project.
I'd hate to see a big old marina going up out here in the middle of the lake, because it's been nice to come out here and play with my boats all these years.
Well, there are some boaters at the marina who told Fox 17 News that they would like to see a private marina come there. Those folks, though, did not want to share that information on camera, but said a new marina could reduce wait lists for other marinas in that area, so possibly could save them some time. A lot more updates to come for that particular boating story. Temperatures are rising towards the 90s, but city leaders over in Hendersonville, they spent time talking about sledding. Okay, we're going to tell you why they could soon charge citizens with trespassing just because they want to use the golf course for something other.
.610 is the time. Hole number 13 at the Country Hills Golf Course in Hendersonville is apparently a very nice steep hill. It's not only a challenge for the golfers, but apparently it's perfect for sledding. City leaders in Hendersonville say that so many people use the hill that it's caused damage to the golf course that they then have to pass on to people who actually want to use it for, golf. They say it wasn't always this popular, though.
The majority of the neighbors have enjoyed the sledding there for years. And one of them that sticks in my mind is said that they felt like they lived in a Norman Rockwell community where there was sledding, and when these rare snowstorms would happen, it would turn into a little resort type feel. But that changed a couple years back because of the volume of people coming in and misbehavior.
The city says they are now looking at a way to charge people with trespassing if they are on the golf course and using it for something other than golf. We'll keep you up to date. Well, the Israeli military says they have now killed a senior level commander of Hezbollah, that is a militant group in Lebanon. According to the Associated Press, the commander and 3 other Hezbollah officials were killed in an Israeli airstrike. Lebanon fired about 90 projectiles at Israel a few hours after the reported airstrike. Some of those were intercepted. The missiles caused several fires to break out in northern Israel. There were no initial reports of injuries after Lebanon's strike.
Coming up in your forecast, we are 48 hours away from temperatures that could be near record-breaking. We are more than 72 hours away from nearly a 100-degree day. Breaking it down on your forecast.
And Steer Clear traffic takes us to I-24 at Bell Road. That is where we are doing much better after traffic had to come to a standstill.
Right now in Operation Crime and Justice, another deadly shooting investigation is underway this morning, this time over in Robertson County. Deputies letting us know that a man was found dead near the train tracks right near North Quail Road. That was yesterday. Investigators say they believe he was shot and then brought to that particular location. As of right now, deputies have yet to identify the man. Well, listen up, Clarksville homeowners. Dialing 911 might get you into some problems. Fiber lines in front of the Clarksville-Montgomery County Emergency 911 Center were accidentally cut during ongoing construction. So right now, dispatchers say if you call 911 and your call is dropped, please go ahead and call back or use the 911 text option. They let us know that they're working to resolve the issues, so as soon as it is resolved, we'll be sure to update you. Right now in politics, reactions pouring in from Capitol Hill after the president's son, Hunter Biden, was found guilty of felony gun charges. Yesterday was the big breaking news. Fox News' Connor Hansen is sharing some more updates now.
President Biden greeting his son Hunter and his family after arriving on the tarmac in Delaware. Hunter Biden was found guilty of lying about his drug use on a form before buying a gun.
It's a very tragic situation. Nobody is above the law. The rule of the law worked today.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are weighing in on the felony conviction. In an unprecedented moment in American politics, a former president and the sitting president's son were found guilty of felonies within weeks of each other. Republicans and Democrats have been quick to point out what they see as the differences in the two cases.
Clearly, the evidence was overwhelming here. I don't think that's the case in the Trump trials, and all the charges that have been brought against him have been obviously brought for political purposes.
And what if one of President Trump's children were prosecuted by the U.S. Department of Justice? The entire Republican Party would be in an uproar, demanding that everybody be fired and that the investigation be quashed.
President Biden has said he would accept the result of Hunter's trial and not pardon him. Meanwhile, some Republicans are calling former President Trump's trial a witch hunt.
Apparently, when a Republican is convicted, it's weaponization. But when a Democrat is convicted, the president's son no less, that's justice.
Anybody who has children, this is devastating to them, but there are consequences to criminal behavior and actions.
Both Trump and Hunter Biden will have the opportunity to appeal. It's unlikely either will serve time behind bars. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
Connor, thank you. We're talking about the heavy rain drenching parts of Florida yesterday. Look at this. Sarasota setting a new record for being positively just soggy. Yikes. The National Weather Service says the city experienced 3.93 inches of rainfall in just 1 hour. And yesterday's total of 6.5 inches, get this, That was almost as much as the average rainfall for the entire month of June at 7 inches. So right now we're going to go ahead and take a live look over in Naples, Florida, where this Wednesday morning conditions there are looking a lot like they were yesterday. It's very windy, it's very cloudy, and you're just not seeing a lot of beachgoers out there. It could be good conditions for surfers. I know, Greg, you were talking about how parts of Florida yesterday were going to be impacted by this. We always like to show you live looks because perhaps you're traveling down to Florida and you just want to be weather aware.
Absolutely. I mean, there's not much happening across the country right now. This is kind of the one spot that if you are going there or someone's coming from there, could be that place where you see flight delays or maybe that person who's even driving it. It could be an issue for you. Here's a look at the radar in Florida. They're still not done yet. They've got one more day worth of heavy rainfall today into tomorrow. So again, if you have any plans, check your flights very diligently here over the course of the next 24 to 48 hours. Back home, not a drop of rain for the next 5 to 7 days. Now we've had 3 days so far this year that have hit at least 90 degrees. We average 49 every single summer. So we're just getting started here. We've got plenty of them in a row. Taking a look starting tomorrow, Thursday, 94 degrees. Your Friday, 95, 94 on Saturday, and 99 on Sunday. That is Father's Day, and we're going to be a degree away from a record set back in 1952. We just keep seeing the heat go up and up for both days of the upcoming weekend. How does Father's Day fare to the last couple of years? Last year was 87 degrees. 2 years ago it was 89, and 3 years ago it was 93. So we're used to heat. No rain this time around, and we had no rain the last 3 years either, but it was nowhere near the 100-degree mark. You can always keep tabs on the forecast by just scanning the QR code right there. Just download the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. If you don't have it yet, it really does help out with heat, and especially when we get back to stormier patterns later on. We get toward the beginning of summer in a few weeks. Taking a look here. 85 degrees later on this afternoon. Before all those 90s hit us, right side of your screen, you'll see we're waking up here in the 50s to right near 60 to start your Wednesday.
Steer clear traffic at I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway over in the Antioch area. As you can see there, traffic moving along really nice. No big problems in either direction there. We're doing really, really good so far as you make that drive in from Antioch. We had a problem here a little bit earlier this morning near Bell Road that was able to clear very quickly. So now we're on to a much better traffic pattern. Good to see. We're also dealing with a brand new crash we just picked up, 65 at the Fern Avenue overpass. Multiple cars pulled over to the shoulder here. Unsure what's going to happen. I believe we may have a vehicle right here that's forcing all the traffic over. So it may be an emergency vehicle being hid by the tree there. So the crews are on the scene trying to deal with that already. I imagine they're waiting on a tow truck to try to get that fully out of the way. But that's going to slow you down. Coming from the north side, you can use Ellington Parkway, Dickerson Pike. It's good ways to steer clear.
All right, Justin, thank you so much. Hey, the Tennessee Valley Healthcare System, they are hosting a Pride Counts event today. It is in support of June being Pride Month. So our Fox 17 News photojournalist, Kevin Mumphrey, is giving us a live look over at the VA Medical Center right now. Folks are walking outside there. This particular Pride event is open to veterans, family members, and VA employees. Those who come out can expect to enjoy music, food, and a lot more out there. The celebration does kick off this morning at 11 o'clock, but it wraps up at 1 p.m. Again, this is the Nashville VA Medical Center. It's located, if you're not familiar, over on 24th Avenue South. The Biden administration proposing a new rule that would ban medical debt from Americans' credit reports. Vice President Kamala Harris announcing this particular proposal. The Biden administration says that it's part of their efforts to show their administration is lowering costs for the average person. This rule, though, would also ban leaders from using medical debt to determine whether someone can or cannot get a loan. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, though, roughly 15 million Americans have medical bills on their credit reports. Coming up, despite crime closer to home, there is one report that says violence is declining. 6:24 is the time, and right now Fox 17 News showing you a live look over in the Metro Center area. We're welcoming all the Bonnaroo folks who are going to start heading in because tomorrow, Thursday, kicks off Bonnaroo Festival over in Manchester at the farm. We're going to talk about your full forecast and how you can get ready for all the music and celebrations in that area. Right now, though, we're taking a look at new FBI numbers showing a drop in violent crimes across the country. Does that surprise you? Well, from January to March, violent crimes reportedly fell 15% from the same period just last year. Murders and sexual assaults are down nearly 25%. Look at your screen. Robberies dipping 18%, and then aggravated assaults dipping 12%. Attorney General Merrick Garland says those statistics that we're showing you are more than numbers. He says they represent lives saved. Now, keep in mind the U.S. murder rate surged back during the pandemic. New developments this morning closer to home. We are now getting a closer look at the designs for Nashville Yards. If you're not familiar, Nashville Yards is a 19-acre development that is going to take up several blocks in downtown Nashville. Those tall buildings are slated to hold offices, hotels, residential space, retail space. It's huge. Plus, a 4,500-seat music venue, which is also set to open next year. So if you want to check out these Nashville Yards designs, the renderings, go to fox17.com and search Nashville Yards. Well, I talked about Bonnaroo, which is set to kick off on Thursday when folks are going to get in there and start setting up all their campsites. So let's take a look at the forecast for Thursday through Sunday, which is Father's Day. It's going to be hot out there. In fact, Greg was increasing the heat index levels. Take a look here, 90 degrees on Thursday. Then by Sunday, we're talking about 95, and potentially it could be even hotter. So you definitely want to go ahead and stay hydrated and start thinking ahead for those high temperatures. We're going to check in now with our traffic anchor, Justin McFarland. Hey there.
Well, good morning. Let's take a look at what we've got going on at 626. This is going to be I-65 at the Fern Avenue overpass there in downtown Nashville. As you look north towards downtown here, we've got multiple cars involved with the crash. There's an ambulance there. Metro Fire is there as well, along with the police department. They've got multiple lanes now shut down. This is going to cause a slowdown as you make that drive in from Trinity Lane, from Madison, from Goodlettsville, anywhere north of the city. If you know you have to use this is the split right here that takes you towards Metro Center. If you know you go that way, this takes you straight ahead towards Nissan Stadium, just to kind of put you on the map about where you are. They are dealing with multiple people here. It looks like someone may be hurt as I take a close look here, as they may be loading them up on to some equipment right now to try to take them away. So this could be with us for the next little bit. Again, you want to try to use Dickerson Pike, Ellington Parkway. This could be your best way to steer clear, because there is going to be a backup here. We'll do our best to show that to you coming up in a few.
We're going to Bellevue after the break because neighbors in that area want Metro Police close by after recent arrest in the area. We'll tell you how Metro...
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, Bellevue has seen recent violent crimes, and now some homeowners believe a new police precinct is in order. And violence on WeGo property breaking out once again. The concerns from bus riders and how the Nashville mayor is saying they could take action. Well, enjoy today's temperatures while you can, because near record highs are on the way starting Friday. Don't worry though, our Code Red meteorologist Greg Bobus tracking the heat wave.
And steer clear traffic has got us at I-65 at Fern Avenue. We're dealing with a crash with injuries. Ambulance is there, so are fire trucks. We're going to tell you the best ways to steer clear.
A lot to get to, but first we do want to say thank you for waking up with Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning. I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has the morning off. Right now we begin with breaking news out of East Tennessee. That is where the TBI says 2 deputies were hurt during a shooting. They say Blount County deputies responded to a domestic disturbance yesterday at a home in the Rockford community. Well, once they arrived, they say a man inside a home opened fire, hitting 2 deputies. The TBI says the suspect, though, was arrested after barricading himself inside the home. He's been identified as 59-year-old Ronald Millsaps. The 2 deputies who were shot also identified as Deputy Corbin Smith, and we also understand the other deputy was Edwin Walker. We're told, though, both deputies are in stable condition, so a good update this Wednesday morning to that story. Well, after the recent violent crimes over in Bellevue, there is now a new proposal for a police precinct and a call for more officers in that area from concerned homeowners. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is explaining more of their concerns and what they want to see over the next couple of weeks and months.
People tell me that they don't want Bellevue to become a high crime area. You might remember that we recently reported that a woman was just walking her dog at a nearby apartment complex when she was attacked and sprayed with a fire extinguisher. And we also reported on a teenage boy who was shot right here in this parking lot behind me. And that corner at Red Caboose Park. And if you walk with me, I'm going to show you his memorial that's laid out here. The community going through a rough time. This is just a signal of what they are facing, and the proposal is a way to try to stop this violent crime. Council member Jason Spain proposed a police precinct in the capital improvement budgets to start the conversation. It would cost upwards of $22 million. However, Spain tells me that getting a new building might be hard to do, and the focus is getting more officers on the street. He tells me the West Precinct covers Bellevue, but it is very understaffed with only 5 officers working a shift. Charlie Tigard has lived in Bellevue for 51 years and is sick of the recent rise in crime.
Stress the word overwhelming majority of citizens of Bellevue would greatly support that because we know that if the situation is getting worse, the best solution is to attack it head on. And the first attack head on is to bring more police officers in the community, whether it be through the precinct or whether it be through patrols or whether it be through events that invite our policemen to participate in the community.
Bellevue's councilwoman Sherry Weiner tells me that a building won't be enough and that patrols have been increasing in this area. I reach out to Metro Nashville Police for comment, and we're waiting to hear back. Reporting in Bellevue, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. And we always want to hear from you all. What do you think about this story? Here's the question over on our Fox Nashville X account. Do you think a new MMPD precinct in Bellevue will help prevent crime in that area? 53.5% of you all say yes. So go ahead and let us know what you think by heading to our Fox Nashville social media pages. We'll be sure to share more updates throughout 9 o'clock. We want to check in now for that Wednesday forecast. Last day in the 80s. What?
Yeah, I mean, for now, not forever, but at least I'd say for the next 7 to 10 days, we're gonna be hard pressed to fall away from the 90s starting tomorrow. We're cranking up the heat, and I've actually increased temperatures for Saturday and for Sunday that could push us near 100 degrees on Father's Day. So that's the kind of heat we're dealing with. Taking a look right now, sun is up, humidity is down, temperatures on the right side of your screen, and we've got 50s to right near 60s so far this morning. So what are we wearing today? Pretty much whatever you had on yesterday, the day before, you should be okay. Just make sure you have ways to shield yourself from the sun. Sun going to be very dominant later on this afternoon, but summer clothes, kind of a dealer's choice, open the wardrobe and whatever is going to be comfortable to be in the middle 80s. You should be okay. Taking a look here on June 12th on this Wednesday. Out the door, what can we expect? 58 degrees at 7 o'clock, 62 at 8, and then 66 at 9. Yeah, there are a couple clouds out there, but actually they'll probably feel more comfortable than anything else, just a few. Then by lunchtime, we'll see a quicker warm up than yesterday morning. We'll already be to 77 degrees at 11, 79 at noon, and then 82 degrees at 1. So this is a nice day. Take advantage of it however you can. We'll look at best practices for gardening, lawn mowing, and then just staying safe from the heat in general as we go throughout the next half hour.
Steer clear traffic at I-65 at the Fern Avenue overpass here in downtown Nashville, just north of downtown. We're dealing with a crash that has some injuries up there as you make your way into downtown from that north side, and it is causing some backups. You can see lots of crews on the scene from the Nashville Fire Department. There's ambulance here. Police are here. Lots of people walking around, shutting down 2 lanes as you make your way into town. You go up this way towards Metro Center. This way will take you straight towards Nissan Stadium. So what can you do about it? Well, let's take you to our map and show you what's going on out there. 46 minutes on that drive right now coming in from Hendersonville. This is 65 at Trinity Lane, already a busy spot, but today with 2 lanes shut down in front of it, it's turned into a virtual parking lot. You want to try to take, if you can, Ellington Parkway, Dickerson Pike, Gallatin Road. All of those are good locations. You can see some of those streets rolling along here. Here's Gallatin there. You can take that into town. Ellington Parkway, Dickerson Pike. All of those good ways to try and steer clear as you make your way into town.
Justin, thank you so much. In Operation Crime and Justice now, violence on WeGo property has bus riders concerned about safety, and we've been talking about that a lot. And this also comes after police say there was another violent crime that happened at the bus terminal. Police ultimately, though, arresting 58-year-old Kevin Figgins, the man right here on your screen. They say he choked his granddaughter at the WeGo terminal. Very disturbing. Just last month, though, we have seen 2 shootings, 2 stabbings on WeGo buses or WeGo property. Those using WeGo buses, riding on those buses, say they just do not feel safe right now.
Our concern is that we feel that even with the security that we have, we're still seeing the same activities and things happening and fights actually occurring even after all of these incidents occur. So if they were seriously about making sure that we were safe, they would have actually addressed these issues to never have happened again, but they're continuing to happen.
Darius Knight, who you just heard from there, very outspoken. We've heard from him in the past. And the Nashville mayor's office says they're focusing on public transportation, making it a key initiative, backing a nearly $7 billion plan for future improvements. The mayor says that the plan does include safety changes. If you'd like to read more about that particular plan, you can do so by going to fox17.com. Amazon drivers say they are not getting the benefits that the law requires. Why thousands are now filing claims. And coming up on Fox 17 News this morning during our... Welcome back. 6:40 is the time. In national news, Amazon contract drivers, well, they say they want more benefits. And now more than 15,000 of them have filed negotiation claims against the company, against Amazon. Well, they say they're minimum wage employees who should have overtime rights. Flex drivers are contract workers who deliver the same day packages for Amazon. Right now, Amazon classifies them, though, as independent contractors. But lawyers for the drivers say Amazon only pays the drivers for some of their work time. So think about this. If a driver books a 3.5-hour block, they only get paid for those hours, even if the deliveries take more time, which is why they're filing the lawsuit and have a lot of questions. So there is more to come with that particular story. We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist. Greg, you told me that today is National, what is it?
Peanut Butter Cookie Day.
Peanut Butter Cookie Day. All right, got it.
So maybe you're looking for a sweet treat later today after you get your golf game going. Let's tee off and see what we're talking about when it goes to temperature. No wind, no humidity. Temperature of 66 degrees at 9 a.m. Right now, we're comfortably in the 50s. We'll be at 79 degrees at noon and 84 degrees our temperature for any later day tee times. 3 p.m. and beyond will stay right in that 80 to 84 degree temperature range. And this leads us to our curious question of today. How many dimples are there on an average golf ball? All the little dimples, the little circles, the indentations on a golf ball. Are there 98, 126, 244, or 336 on an average golf ball? That's coming your way. The answer in just a few minutes in the next check of your forecast.
Steer clear traffic. Let's take a good look here at what we're dealing with. This is on I-65 at the Fern Avenue overpass there on the north side. You can't get by. Things are slow, back behind it especially because of the crash here involving some injuries. We just saw an ambulance leave the scene. The fire department has left the scene, so they're trying to open up more lanes, but it's still slow coming there from the north side. As you would take this way to get towards Rosa Parks and Metro Center, this way will take you towards downtown Nashville and the Nissan Stadium area. Right now, we're talking about a total of 46 minutes on the drive. Look at what it's doing. This is you sitting in line there at Trinity Lane. You can try to take Dickerson Pike, Ellington Parkway, or Gallatin Road is the best way to steer clear.
Let's talk about sports. The Titans offseason is...
We make it happen.
Welcome back. In our economy, many folks are waiting for today's updates of key inflation information and the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision. The May Consumer Price Index report is going to be released later today, and investors are certainly going to be looking for signs of cooling inflation. Here's what you need to know, though. The Fed is going to wrap up a 2-day policy meeting later today, but the central bank is widely expected to go ahead and hold its interest rate steady for right now, so don't get too excited too soon. You hear the music, it's sports time. The Tennessee Titans offseason is in the books. The team finishing organized team activities this week, which means we're not going to see them again until training camp. But as we inch closer to the new season, Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick has more on how the team looks right now.
Tennessee Titans wrapping up their off-season program this week. The team holding 2 voluntary OTAs and then closing out the program with a fun team bonding activity put together by head coach Brian Callahan. Looking back at the last 10 weeks as a whole, Coach Callahan says he's pleased with the progress his team has made so far, especially with how his team has responded to everything they've thrown at them, including a new offense, new scheme, and of course new players and a new coaching staff. Now his message to his team, simple. Over the next next month and a half, don't waste the progress we've already made. He said the last thing we want to do is take a step backwards, because when the team reports to training camp end of July, it's a full sprint to the start of the season.
Our players have done a fantastic job learning the information, being able to apply it. We've thrown all kinds of stuff at these guys from a scheme standpoint, from a technique standpoint, and to their credit, they've done a really nice job of attacking those things and handling the information, and puts us in a position to have a good training camp.
The Titans rookies will stay in Nashville a little bit longer, and the extra week will also give undrafted free agents more time to prove themselves. Former Tennessee Vols Jabari Small and Gabe Judy Lawley are doing everything they can to try to make the 53-man roster.
I talked to a whole bunch of other teams, but once I worked out here, I just kind of knew that I had a good day and they could be the team that I was calling, and talked with my agent after that, and I understood that this would probably be the best opportunity, and all the other distractions are eliminated. I don't have to figure out a place to live. I don't have to, meet a whole bunch of new people. I know a lot of people here, so I'm comfortable, so all I have to focus on is football at the end of the day.
Just trying to find a way to create value for myself to help the team win. That's really ultimately what it's going to come down to, is just how can I help the team win and being undeniable, whether it be special teams, running back, catching, blocking, running. It's so many different ways you can affect the game, and that's really what I'm focused on.
Titans also announcing this week that they've scheduled joint practices with the Seattle Seahawks. Those practices will take place August 14th and August 15th right here at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, and those will lead right up into their preseason game against the Seahawks at Nissan Stadium on Saturday, August 17th. Reporting from the Titans practice facility, Jill Johnlick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
A lot of excitement there, but hey, we're going to go from talking about the Titans and football to talking about golf for your curious question of the day.
Yeah, curious question today is just on an average golf ball, and some have more than others, but on an average golf ball, how many of the little dimples are there on an average golf ball? Are there 98, 126, 244, or 336?
All right, so I feel confident in my answer given how much golf my husband plays.
Okay.
I'm going with C.
244.
Stop it. It's a D.
It is D.
Okay.
Average is 336. So again, some companies have fewer, more have others. It just kind of depends on the golf ball you get, but the average golf ball has 336. You were close though. I mean, you weren't far off. Taking a look here, when to mow. Well, this just depends on comfort. Nothing has to do with rain here. We're talking about yes for today, low humidity in 80s. Good day to get some yard work done. Get it done now, and it should last you through the weekend because we have no additional rain to help that lawn grow all that much. Then tomorrow and Friday, we go back to 90-degree temperatures. Been talking about it. Going to be hot and humid both of those days. But maybe you do mow the lawn a little bit later today, and you want to, have a nice dinner, do a little barbecuing. Forecast for us here today will keep us in the 80-degree range throughout that time frame for the evening. So keep that in mind. Sun is up for us here. It has been for an hour and 20 minutes. We're going to get a good deal of it. Whatever cloud cover is out there right now, that will slowly break up going into the afternoon. Back to a mainly sunny sky and a very hot pattern. Our hottest stretch of weather by far so far this year. Take a look at Sunday for Father's Day. We have a chance to hit 99 degrees. The record on June 16th is 100 degrees set back in 1952.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A strong thunderstorm this week brought twin lightning bolts in Murrells Inlet Sunday night. The microburst also brought plenty of damaged trees and debris. This looks like a tornado off the coast of Myrtle Beach, but it's an intense rain shaft. And bad news for this black bear stuck in the outfield temporarily. Talk about swinging for the fences, but it eventually found its way.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Instagram.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get a good look at that crash we're following at I-65 at the Fern Avenue overpass there on the north side. You can see how the traffic is doing there as you crawl past that particular crash on the shoulder of the road. So heads up for you as you make that drive into town. You can see police there on the shoulder. TDOT is there as well. Looks like the tow trucks are in place to try and move this accident out of the way fully, but it's causing problems back behind it. So let me show you that. Here is that crawl coming down from I-65 near Trinity Lane there on that north side. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that's not good. The traffic backing up here from Trinity Lane all the way back towards Dickerson Pike, all the way back towards Briley, and then the opposite direction here. This is Rick Church Pike. All of that up there is backed up as well. You want to try to take Dickerson Pike, Ellington Parkway, Gallatin Pike. That's going to be your best way to steer clear until they open up all the lanes.
Ooh, that is a mess. Justin, thank you. There is new research finding only a few Americans are getting the recommended lung cancer screenings, so we're giving you a health news update this Wednesday. A study led by the American Cancer Society looked at information from around 26,000 Americans. Those results found that fewer than 1 in 5 people are actually up to date with their lung cancer screenings. An annual screening is recommended for people who are at higher risk for lung cancer. Now to Florida, where a federal judge has ruled a Florida law banning gender-affirming care for transgender minors is unconstitutional. The law was signed by Governor Ron DeSantis last year. The judge says that the state went too far by excluding transgender minors from being prescribed puberty blockers and hormonal treatments. He also went ahead and overturned the provisions blocking transgender adults from getting online treatment. DeSantis' office says that Florida was acting to protect children, and the state is now going to appeal this ruling. Coming up on Fox 17 News this morning, celebrating Juneteenth, we're going to explain how communities are getting involved and how Hopkinsville is getting involved in the celebrations. And coming up on Fox 17 News this morning at 7, Nashville's mayor facing controversy over police oversight. And now the NAACP is speaking out. Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino is digging deeper over the next hour.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcast.
Welcome back. 6:55 is the time, and right now we're showing you a live look over in Metro Center, showing you the sunrise. We're also talking about potentially reaching records when it comes to heat. I know, Father's Day weekend, Bonnaroo, a lot going on, but you do need to think ahead. Our Code Red meteorologist, Greg Bobus, he has you covered. He's going to talk about the temperatures and how you can just, grab your sunglasses, grab a hat, stay hydrated, and enjoy the next couple of days. And your community, though, Juneteenth is just 1 week away, celebrating freedom for African Americans and the end of slavery here in the U.S. Now, Hopkinsville is marking the historic event in a few days. They're going to be doing this early, though. Take a look. Hopkinsville event, they're going to take place Saturday, June 15th at the Boys and Girls Club over on South Walnut Street. The celebration is going to have some food, some games, some kid activities. It starts at 1 o'clock p.m., going to run through 6 that evening. If you want to read some more about this, of course, we have you covered with all the celebrations. It's over on fox17.com. So I just talked about the record-breaking temperatures. Do you remember off the top of your head what you said earlier about 1952?
1952 is the record for Sunday at 100 degrees for June 16th. So
okay.
Yeah, it's been a hot second, quite literally, since it's been a hot second on June 16th.
You're showing the dog of the day. You're going to want to make sure your dogs are hydrated and if they can stay inside.
And I mean, they can't tell you what's going on with them. Just kind of watch for the signs of that. The panting
my doodle
and all
tells
of that.
me.
Oh, yeah?
He's like, Mom, get me back in this house
Yapping
now.
at you right away. Maybe Daisy's the same way. Our dog of the day sent in by Amy from Clarksville. Yeah, just give him a little extra love here. Just kind of pay a little extra attention. And if you've had a dog for a while, then you know exactly the signs to look for. Maybe you're a new dog owner, then yeah, you want to watch out for the panting, the paw pads, that, if they start pulling their paws off the ground kind of a thing. None of that today. 58 degrees. It's real nice here going into the 7 o'clock hour. 62 at 8, 73 degrees at 10 o'clock. Later on this morning, we'll see our temperature go from 73 at 10 to near 80 by noon. Quick warm up for us here. You can send us your dog of the day by going to my Facebook page, meteorologist Greg Bobus. You find that photo right there. This might not be a good week to dress your dogs up before you take them out. Give them as few layers as possible, but that's how you send your photos right here to see them right on our air here on Fox 17 News this morning.
All right, Greg, thank you so much. It's going to be so hot out there, but let's talk about your traffic. The good news is we're taking a live look I-65 at Fern Avenue north of downtown, where we were following some incidents and some backup, but we have good news because this area has since cleared. No issues at hand here, but there are some other trouble spots with plenty of congestion. Our traffic anchor Justin McFarland has you covered in a couple of minutes. Listen up, though. Fox 17 News, we are giving you a chance to receive 2 tickets for Brew at the Zoo. It's this Friday at the Nashville Zoo. You can check out the animals, the live music, local food trucks, and dozens of craft beers at this unique after-hours event. So how do you get involved? How do you get the free tickets? You scan the QR code that is right here up on your screen, or go to fox17.com/contest to enter for your chance to win. But do keep in mind this event is for folks who are 21 years old and up. So that does have to apply in order to go out there to the zoo. But again, fox17.com/contest for all the details. We know that most students are out for summer vacation, but now school leaders are using the time off to talk about chronic absenteeism. The term refers to when a student is missing at least 10% of the school year. Educators were hoping that attendance would improve after the pandemic, but now we're hearing that chronic absenteeism has actually increased from 15% to 26%. School leaders say issues like mental health and safety and family challenges, as well as possible disconnect from the material, may be to blame for that serious issue. U.S. Olympic swimming trials are beginning this weekend. Mark your calendar. And from Clarksville, Blake Amlick, a Clarksville high schooler, is competing for a spot on the Olympic team, and he's just 17 and already the 13th ranked swimmer in the nation for the class of 2025. Congrats. Over in Indianapolis, though, take a look at this video. There is a replica of the Eiffel Tower that has been set up to celebrate this year's Paris Olympic Games. Close to 1,000 athletes are going to compete for just 52 spots. Stay with us. Our 7 o'clock hour is starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, an arrest made for a deadly shooting over in Edge Hill Avenue. We're getting the very latest updates.
Comfort once again this morning in the 50s. This is the last day before the heat turns on, and this is an extended heat wave that begins tomorrow. The first thoughts of what to expect for the weekend coming your way.
At Steer Clear Traffic, we are following that crash that was on the north side, 65 at Fern Avenue. It's cleared up, but will the traffic clear up? That's the question. We'll try to answer it here in our 7 o'clock hour. We're ready, set, go. Here on your Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Justin McFarland.
And I'm Erica Glover. Fox 17 News, your only local news source from 7 to 9. And we do want to get started with some new information this Wednesday morning. We now know one person is in custody in connection with a deadly shooting in South Nashville.
Police say it was 18-year-old Malachi Rebecca who was found shot to death inside of an Edge Hill apartment around 2:30 p.m. yesterday. Now, records show that Datarius Watkins was arrested late last night and charged with criminal homicide in her death. We are now looking at the details of this case, and right now we can tell you that Mr. Watkins is being held without bond.
We're also getting some more updates this morning out of East Tennessee. That's where TBI says 2 deputies were hurt in a shooting. They say Blount County deputies responded to a domestic disturbance yesterday at a home in Rockford.
When they arrived, they say the man inside that home opened fire, hitting 2 deputies. The TBI says the suspect was arrested after barricading himself inside of the home. He's been identified as 59-year-old Ronald Millsap. The 2 deputies who were shot have been identified as Deputy Corbin Smith and Deputy Edwin Walker. We're told that both of them are in stable condition right now.
There is an Ashland City man who says his home has been flooded several times over the last 10 years, causing thousands of dollars worth of damage to his property.
Now he's looking for some answers, and he can't seem to get the problem fixed. So let's get out to Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar. She is live there to show us some of the damage to that particular home.
Good morning. Well, I'm right in front of John Cripp's home on Bull Run Road, and he says that he's lived at his home for nearly 5 decades, and the flooding has only gotten worse within the last 10 years. Now, I want you to take a look at this culvert right here. It's not even raining, but it's saturated with water, and the water is deep. That they have come out here multiple times to put this culvert here, even expand it, but yet you can see that the problem still has not been fixed. And if you take a look to my left, you can see this is exactly where John Cripps is standing. Behind him, there's a fence where he says has been damaged over time from that flooding, and he's just sick of it. John, tell me what you've been going through and your frustrations.
Every time it rains, I have flooding for 3 or 4 days or a week. It goes over my driveway, it goes over the road, it gets where I can't get in and out. My fences keep falling in. The fence rows fill up with leaves. It takes my fences out. Last time it took 700 foot of fence out. The time before that, about 400. It's just so expensive to try to fix, and I need to get something done about it.
Absolutely. Metro Water Services tells me that because of the location of where you live, nothing can be done. But you're telling me you've been here for almost 50 years, and you've just seen this recently happen more and more in the last 10 years. What's your response to them?
Something's changed. They need to do a hydrology study or something in this area. Something around here's changed, and it's almost like a creek comes down through here now. It never did. The water can't get to the creek from here.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Well, we'll have more for you in the next half hour. We'll also show you just how bad this flooding can get. Reporting live here in Ashland City, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
7:04 our time, and we're looking ahead to what is new this morning that we're waking up to that we need to know before we hit the road and get our day started. Today's our last day in the 80s. That means last comfortable day to do outdoor yard work, last cool day to be outside for some exercising here in the morning. Right side of your screen, we're in the 50s. It does not get this good again for a long time. Even hotter temperatures for the weekend than you've been seeing all week long. I've upped the numbers. We might even hit 100 degrees on Sunday. That's where we're going to be. No rain in the forecast until Monday or Tuesday of next week, and those rain chances are tiny rain chances. We're still all clear for Code Red, though. 62 your temperature in the Nashville area. You take a look at some clouds that are trying to break up, but they will going in toward the afternoon. And you know what? Honestly, a few clouds might be helpful. A little extra shade goes a long way on a day like today, and especially on days like tomorrow and beyond. 83 degrees, temperature at 2 o'clock, 85 at 5. You're carefree to go. Do anything you want today. Low humidity. Get it done because, well, here we are. 94 degrees tomorrow, 95 on Friday, 94 on Saturday, and 99 for Father's Day. We'll take a look at that and how it compares to the past several Father's Days, and also how close to breaking a record we're going to be on Sunday, June 16th. That's coming up in the next look at your forecast.
Still clear traffic at 7:05. Here's a look at I-65 on the north side. This is going to be 65 at Trinity Lane there. Traffic doing much better than it was about 30 minutes ago when we had a crash in front of it at the Fern Avenue overpass. It was slowing things down in a big way. So if you're coming down from Madison, Goodlettsville, Hendersonville, all the villes, they're on the north side. Jolton, Whites Creek, you're going to do a lot better on the drive than you were a few moments ago now that they've gotten that crash out of the way. We're going to get you some drive times and looks at other areas of town coming up in a few.
Well, temperatures are increasing towards the 90s, but city leaders in Hendersonville, they spent time talking about sledding.
Yeah, it's an unusual story, but we're going to tell you why they could soon be charging people with trespassing because they want to use the golf course for something other than golfing.
And right now, Fox 17 News showing you a live look at the Nashville skyline and our steer clear traffic worries out there. We're going to keep you posted, and just keep in mind, we're your only station live from 4 all the way up until 9. Stay with us.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company,
Tennessee home buyers.
7:09 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Hole 13 at the Country Hills Golf Course in Hendersonville. It's known to have a very nice steep hill. Now, I'm not sure which hole this is, but this is a picture out there at the Country Hills Golf Course there in Hendersonville. And of course, they've got lots of nice hills and other features. But apparently, it's a nice challenge for golfers when it's nice and sunny like it is today. But in the winter, after a fresh snow, apparently the area is very popular for sledding. So much so that people have gone out there and it's caused damage now to the golf course that the city is having to pay for. So the city is considering putting a fine in for anyone who goes out there. Now they say that before it was fine. A few people would go here and there every time it snowed. It was kind of cool, it was kind of cute. But now the number has gone up over the years and it's causing lots of damage.
The volume, the number of people going there. I was really hoping that we would have some creative ideas about this, but I don't have any.
It's either going to be, it has to be all or nothing. Yeah. You can't say, yes, well, some people can sled and some people can't. So if you say where there's not going to be, then what I would request is whether it's the city or the golf course, we post no trespassing, no sledding, because the reality is people shouldn't be on the golf course if they're not golfing. So we don't want people just traipsing through the golf course. So, you know, and if it's posted, we can charge them with trespassing.
Now, the police chief says they are typically very busy with traffic accidents during snowstorms there in Hendersonville, so it could be difficult to put an officer just on sledding patrol by itself. But they say if the golf course calls them, they will respond. A deadly shooting is under investigation this morning in Robertson County. Deputies say that a man was found dead near a train track on the north side of Quail Road. This happened yesterday. They say they believe that the man was shot and then brought to that location and placed there. Deputies have not yet identified that man, but they say he appears to be Hispanic. As this story develops, we'll continue to give you updates both on air and online at fox17.com. Well, we do have continuing coverage in Operation Crime and Justice. Two 12-year-old boys are now in custody. And listen to this. Police say they stole their teacher's SUV in Metro Nashville. They're 12, two 12-year-olds. They stole it from their teacher at a middle school and then drove that SUV all the way out to Bucksnort, Tennessee, which is about an hour outside the city. It's past Dickson. Parents of the students were able to track down their sons thanks to an iPad that they took with them. Authorities found them just off the exit and took them into custody. I want to emphasize they're 12. They're now facing charges in the Davidson County Juvenile Justice Court.
Coming up, your forecast, we'll work our way through one more nice day. And there you go on our South Nashville camera. We've got blue sky for now. How long until our next raindrops and how many 90s we'll clock into? That's coming your way.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is in Antioch and Cane Ridge. We're doing okay, just okay, not great. We're going to give you the latest drive times with steer clear traffic coming up.
UseNissan.com.
7:15 is the time. This morning we are following a call from the NAACP for an urgent meeting with Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell.
And now the NAACP is expressing serious concerns over the investigation into allegations against Metro Nashville Police and a new law to weaken police oversight boards across the state.
Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino broke this story just yesterday, and now she's got more details about it. Kelly?
Well, guys, the NAACP sent an open letter yesterday to the mayor saying that, quote, this is not a good start to your term. It all comes after a whistleblower, a former lieutenant on Metro Police's Internal Affairs Unit, filed a complaint with the city alleging that high-ranking police officers lobbied state legislators to get a new law passed. That law limiting the power of civilian police oversight boards across the state. Now, the Nashville Community Review Board says it's been hamstrung since and is currently in negotiations with the police department and the mayor over how much access they'll have to police records to investigate claims of police misconduct going forward. The CRB says the allegations, if true, undermine the will of Nashville residents who voted for a police oversight board in 2018. The NAACP now raising serious concerns that the mayor did not involve the community in choosing a third-party independent law firm to investigate those claims. They're already doubting the process here and the impartiality on behalf of the city. Now, we did reach out to the mayor and have not heard back so far. A press conference is being held later today on this issue. The NAACP and the CRB will be there. We'll certainly bring you the latest at 5:30. I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Kelly, thank you so much. Making headlines. Developers have now released these new renderings of Nashville Yards. It's massive. A 19-acre mixed-use development, that's the key word that we always use,
yes.
Currently under construction in the heart of downtown. Where else?
Well, of course, it's near all the action there. Nashville Yards will offer more than 3 million square feet of retail and entertainment and other spaces that's there. It will also offer a state-of-the-art music venue that's known as the Pinnacle that will offer over 4,000 seats once it's set to open coming up here next year. So brand new pictures there of the Nashville Yards. This is where the former Lifeway Tower used to be there in downtown Nashville years ago. They took that down, and this is part of where the Yards is being built.
I mean, because why not? Why doesn't Nashville need another music venue?
I mean, we already got the, you know what? Yeah, we do have a few. But you know what? People like music's Music City. And where you gonna play the music?
Hey, well, talking about music and Music City, Bonnaroo over in Manchester, I mean, these folks got to stay hydrated. They got to do all the things. They got to have the mobile fans.
There's a lot they got to do to make sure they're staying safe this weekend. And then you add the 90-degree heat every single day. You add no rain whatsoever, barely a cloud in the sky. So make sure you are taking all of those precautions. If you have friends that are going out there, just give them the heads up, because they may not tune into what the weather is, and they might think, oh, today is great, so tomorrow will be too. And then it's 10 degrees hotter. And then it stays that way for the entire weekend. 85 today, and that is how it's going to be. It'll be 10 degrees hotter tomorrow. Warming starts today. We'll be about 4 or 5 degrees warmer than the same time yesterday when we get to the afternoon hours. So we're talking about highs yesterday near 80, 85 this afternoon. We've had 3 days, that's it so far this year, that have hit 90 or above. We average 49. I've got 6 of them in the next 7 in my forecast. So we're settling into that typical Nashville type of a summer pattern. 94 for tomorrow, 95 degrees on Friday, 94 on Saturday, and I've gone all the way up to 99 on Sunday. That is Father's Day. The record is 100 degrees set back in 1952. Taking a look at the last 3 Father's Days, 87 last year, 89 2 years ago, and 93 back in 2021. We haven't had any rain on Father's Day in quite some time, and that'll continue this year as well. No rain in the forecast until Monday or Tuesday. You can track that when it does arrive. You can also look at your hour-by-hour temperatures by getting the Fox 17 Code Red Weather app. That's really helpful every morning because we're going to start off right near 70 degrees each day. It's how quickly we climb to 90 and above that will change day to day. We'll make sure you know that by just getting that app right there. And there's your stretch of 90s Thursday all the way through Tuesday of next week with that near record-breaking heat on your Sunday, getting up to 99 uncomfortable degrees.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning at 7:19. Here's a quick look at what we're dealing with. This is going to be I-24 at Waldron Road as you make that drive into town from the Rutherford County area. We're doing okay out there. No major slowdown so far. It is typical for this time of the morning, which typical is good. Here are your drive times. 41 minutes coming down from Hendersonville. Still seeing a bit of a slowdown near Trinity Lane there in that area because of an earlier crash. Murfreesboro to downtown at around 73 minutes. It's about an hour and 10 minutes or so.
In Operation Crime and Justice, police need your help. They say they're investigating a shooting that happened yesterday afternoon. Police say a teenager was shot in the leg over on 33rd Avenue North.
Now, we're told that teen is doing okay, but witnesses say that the shooter was wearing a mask and then ran away after the shooting. If you have any information about this particular shooting, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers.
We're also getting more updates regarding a shooting in Memphis, injuring 3 children and 1 adult. Right now, we're getting the latest.
7:23 is the time and new this morning in Operation Crime and Justice. A teenager is now in custody after police say that he drove away. Okay? He just drove away from a traffic stop late last night. Police say that the 18-year-old was driving with a suspended license plate.
Yeah, they say when officers tried to pull him over, he drove down a dead-end street, stopped his car, and then took off running. Police confirming that they had to use a taser in order to stop him. They say he did not have a driver's license and was also in possession of illegal drugs. He is now being held in the Wilson County Jail.
And here we are, 7:23. We're going to take a look right now at the nice evening we've got ahead of us. So we've talked about the afternoon hitting 85 degrees later today, the low humidity. Really the last great night to get out and enjoy low humidity as well. 83 degrees. Maybe you're going to light up a bonfire later today at 6 p.m. We get closer to sunset. It's going to set at 8:05 later today. 79 degrees, and then we'll see our temperatures slowly go into the lower 70s by 10 o'clock. Great evening here. So from bonfire forecast to Bonnaroo forecast. Taking a look. We mentioned it about 5-10 minutes ago. It's going to be hot every single day, and I'm not worried about rainfall. I actually wish we'd have some rainfall. It would help out considerably. 90 degrees in Manchester on Thursday, so tomorrow already back up to 90. 92 on Friday, 94 on Saturday, 95 on Sunday. Nashville high temperatures about 4 or 5 degrees warmer than all of these numbers going ahead. That means we're up to 99 on Sunday. It's going to be a very, very hot weekend ahead of us. I mentioned getting the Code Red Weather app. It's really going to be a useful tool for you. And you can also follow along or connect anywhere on social media, Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus, my X page, Greg Bobus WX. You can go find any of us there. If you want to just share some photos you have, you can also always submit your dog of the day on my Facebook page, who we're going to meet coming up next half hour, and a check of your forecast.
Let's get to your steer clear traffic out there this morning. Let's get started at I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. We are dealing with what looks like to be just a disabled vehicle. This is in the exit there. It's not on the interstate because If it was, that would be a problem because there's no other traffic around it. So this is just out there on the ramp there for I-24, very close to Hickory Hollow Parkway near the Tanger outlets. I believe that's the Tanger, as a matter of fact, in the background of that particular situation. So the police department has not gotten there yet. We'll continue to follow that and anything else that gets in your way. Overall drive time is looking pretty good. 73 minutes coming in from Murfreesboro, 34 minutes coming in from the south side.
Right now, though, we're getting updates out of Memphis. That is where 3 children and 1 adult are now seriously injured after a shooting led to a police chase. This is in Memphis. It was yesterday. Police responding to a shooting right on Interstate 240. They located the suspect's car, and ultimately they had to go ahead and follow this vehicle. Officers chasing the car until it eventually crashed, and the people inside got out. They took off running. 2 people, though, were later locked up.
Well, new this morning, Middle Tennessee State University is now raising tuition for brand new academic year that's coming up here this fall.
MTSU says the approved 5.39% increase wasn't necessary to meet rising costs, increased scholarships, and then also expanded academic programming. Now, despite the increase, leaders say that MTSU is expected to go ahead and let me double check this right here. They said despite the increase, leaders say MTSU is expected to remain lowest in tuition and fees compared to schools like University of Tennessee and the University of Memphis. Want to make sure we get that correct. The increase, though, means the average undergraduate in-state student would pay an additional $518 per year.
Trustees also approved an increase of 3.5% for the housing rates. Well, coming up, Fox 17 News.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, coming up, we've got intense flooding over in Ashland City. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is live in a few moments with a story of how one man is able to survive and how he's trying to stop that flooding before it begins again.
And thankfully, no rain in the forecast for a few days. We're drying out for the first time in about a month and a half, but there are still a few showers and storms. By the end of the 7-day, we'll find those coming up in a few minutes.
I-40 at Spence Lane, a bright, sunshiny day. As you make that drive in from the east side, you're going to need your sunglasses and perhaps some ways to keep yourself cool. I'll tell you more about your drive coming up in a few.
A lot to get to, but we do want to start by saying thank you for joining us here on a Wednesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I am Justin McFarland. Jen Waddell does have this day off. Fox 17 News here with you live and local through 9 o'clock.
We're going to get started by taking you to Ashland City, where a man says that his home has been flooded several times over the last decade.
It's caused thousands of dollars worth of damage to his property. And now he's searching for answers there because he can't seem to get this problem fixed.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is right there at his home showing us the damage and speaking with him firsthand. Good morning, Karen. Good morning. Well, that's John Cripp's home on Bull Run Road here in Ashland City. And about 30 minutes ago, we showed you a culvert that was right next to his fence in front of his home that was filled with water, and it's not even raining. And so now we're taking you to another location here that shows what he wants to be done that he says isn't being done. Take a look at this box cover right here. He says that he is asking for that, and look at how wide that culvert is in comparison to the culvert that we saw previously. And the Metro Water Services, when we reached out to them, says that they have been out multiple times to assess the damage. They said they put the culvert in, they said they expanded it, but as I just mentioned, he says it doesn't look anything like this, and there's still water that's in there, and it's overflowing, it's damaging his fence, among other things. And I'm right here with John Cripps, who tells me that you say you've reached out to Metro Water Services yourself, Hub Nashville, and they haven't even gotten back to you in the last 2 years. Tell me about that.
Exactly. Every time I've reached out to them, I don't hear any response from them. I actually reached out to the mayor. I've been working on several years. I got word back through my councilman that the mayor had threatened to put me in jail if I fix it myself. I could fix it myself, and I would be willing to do that, but they won't let me dig.
Right, and you're talking about the former mayor, right? And the former mayor. Okay, so you said they're not doing anything about it, and we actually spoke to Metro Water Services ourselves, who says that they say nothing can be done because of the location of where his house is, yet we did pass several homes that didn't have the same problem, that also had culverts and are on that same road. So basically,
the new mayor, you are trying to talk to that mayor as well, right, to get some answers, and you say they just can't be reached.
They're untouchable. I can't, there's no way to get in touch and talk to the mayor.
Right. All right, so we're reaching out to the mayor ourselves, and we're trying to look for answers for John, because as Justin and Erica, you mentioned, this is thousands of dollars worth of damages to his property. And he just wants some answers. Reporting live here in Ashland City, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Taking a look at the forecast here that is loaded up with sunshine, and that's how it's going to be for the rest of this week. The three things to know here. Getting started today, we've got 24 more hours of comfort, and then that is it. Now, maybe you like the 90s. Maybe you like the upper 90s. Maybe triple digits sounds good. For those of us or those of you that don't, it's going to be a long stretch of some weather here for us that we have to deal with. Even hotter temperatures I've put into the forecast for the weekend itself. We could hit a record on Sunday. No rain until Monday or Tuesday. Until then, it is only sunshine and sunglasses. All clear when it comes to Code Red. We will not go Code Red for heat unless the heat index value, that feels like temperature with the actual air temperature and humidity put together, gets at or above 100 degrees. We don't see that, but we do see this. 94 tomorrow, 95 on Friday, 94 on Saturday. Sunday for Father's Day, we're going to be up to 99 degrees. We cannot discount the possibility that we could make it to triple digits, and then we keep the heat going Monday into Tuesday. Now, you do see the chance for a few storms there on your Tuesday. However, I'm not heavily buying into those showers and storms for Tuesday just yet. And nighttime temperatures will be much warmer in the 60s to near 70 as well, starting tomorrow night.
Clear traffic at I-40 at Spence Lane. This is coming over from the east side of town. As you can take a look and see some of the things happening out there on the roads. We're doing okay. Slower than usual traffic happening out there this morning as you creep in from that east side. We will continue to follow things, but so far there's nothing out of the ordinary taking place out there on the roads. No major crashes slowing things up. We'll get you the latest drive times coming up in just a few.
Well, new this morning, we are talking about a serious issue here in Middle Tennessee. The FBI is now sending a warning to parents about sextortion. And we're getting a new update now from Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse, because the agency says it's a growing trend, and it's also a way for criminals to make money.
Yeah, a very devastating situation that we have here, but the FBI says that these criminals are targeting young boys.
The FBI says offenders coerce minors through social media or even gaming systems to send sexually explicit videos or photos. These predators then demand their victims to send money via cryptocurrency or through gift cards. And if the kids don't, they threaten that they will share the material to all of their friends and family. Sometimes FBI Special Agent Beth Crepin says they'll send them out anyways. Agent Crepin says young boys are the target, although anyone can be a victim. And while most of the criminals are overseas, the victims can be your next door neighbor.
The increase that we have seen is in boys from about 14 to 17. For about a year's time, we had a reporting of over 13,000 incidences of this nature, not just here in Middle Tennessee, across the United States, but we have seen victims here in Middle Tennessee for sure.
Agent Crepin says she wants parents to be aware of this. And kids, if you fall victim to this horrific act, you will not get in trouble. Tell your parents and contact police.
Or you can also contact the FBI directly. A little later this morning, we're going to have the details on how you can do that. The contact information, you can contact them by phone and also online. Reporting live in Nashville, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Peyton, thank you. Coming up, cracking down on crime in the Bellevue area. We're going to explain what local leaders are now proposing. Fox 17 News covering more breaking news updates this Wednesday morning with a story trending over on fox17.com. We do want to make sure that you are aware that there are a fleet of Russian warships in the Caribbean for what the U.S. is calling military exercises. The U.S. military expects that these exercises will involve a handful of Russian ships and support vessels. Russia is a longtime ally of Cuba and has made previous trips into the Caribbean area. Now, this mission comes less than 2 weeks, though, after President Biden went ahead and authorized the use of this particular mission. and they authorized Ukraine to go ahead and use U.S.-provided weapons to strike inside Russia. The Biden administration, though, has described Russia's Caribbean excursion as routine naval activity.
News from your community this morning. There is a brand new proposal for a police precinct in Bellevue. Let's take a look here. Council member Jason Spain did report that the police precinct could be going into the capital improvements budget. Now, it would cost at least $22 million. However, the councilman tells Fox 17 News that they're getting a lot of building, so it could be something that it's feasible to do, but it could be a little difficult as well, depending on who they ask. They say their focus is on getting more officers onto the street. The council member also says that the West Precinct does cover Bellevue, but it's understaffed with only 5 officers working per shift. This comes after a string of crime in the area, including the deadly shooting of a 13-year-old boy at a Bellevue park. So we want to hear from you. Do you think Metro Nashville police need to open up a new precinct in Bellevue, and will that help prevent crime in that area? Pretty split so far. 56% of you say yes, 43% of you say no. Only 110 votes so far. If you want to chime in for yourself, you can do so by scanning that QR code right there on the side of your screen. You can also go over to our X page. You can find us at Fox Nashville.
And a quick check of your forecast here by meeting our dog of the day, Daisy. Soaking up the sunshine right there, and that is going to be the name of the game for the rest of this week. Daisy sent in by Amy from Clarksville. And as far as our dog walking forecast goes, we're in the 50s and 60s right now, and we'll keep the 60s until around 10 o'clock this morning. Temperature of 73 at 10 a.m., 77 degrees at 11.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you up and about. This is going to be I-24 at the Hickory Hollow Parkway area there. Coming up I-24 close to the Antioch zone of the city. We did have a crash there a little bit earlier. It has since cleared, but traffic still slow and congested. You could try to take Murfreesboro Pike is the best way to steer clear of that. We're bringing light to the darkness of cancer. Coming up, we're going to speak with the parents of a 4-year-old cancer survivor on what it means.
Good morning, welcome back. Time right now 7:45, and it's a good morning, it's a good day, and it's going to be an interesting end to the week when it comes to the heat cranking up. So get the yard work done. I've been telling you on Monday, I told you yesterday, I'm going to stress it again today. It's a good day to mow and not get really hot, overheated, or sweaty when you're doing it. Now the sun's going to beat down on you during the middle of the day, but the morning temperatures are great. The evening temperatures are fantastic. Tomorrow, still no rain, and same with Friday, but we're hot starting around 9 a.m. tomorrow, and we're hot all the way through 7 p.m. tomorrow. Same story on Friday. Heat does take over. And then taking a look at our upcoming precip. This is where it gets interesting. We're going to be hot. We're going to be sunny Thursday, and then all the way through Sunday, not a drop of rain. What does that mean? Do you have a garden? Do you have plants that are outside? Are they looking great right now from all the rain that we had in May? Watering and gardening is up to you 100%. Mother Nature's not going to help you out. 66 degrees at 9 o'clock today, 79 at noon, and 84 degrees at 3 p.m. So maybe pulling some weeds, getting things looking good to go before that heat gets here. When to water is a really big thing here, especially in the Mid-South with how quickly we get hot and how much sunshine we see this time of the year. The green hours are hours you're guaranteed to be okay if you do it. The water will sink into the dirt. You're going to be fine. Yellow hours, you're kind of pushing it a little bit here. Every hour shaded in red, you do not want to be watering anything because that water, first of all, could end up hurting the plants and doesn't get a chance most of the time to soak into the ground itself. So keep that in mind right after sunrise, right before sunset, and you should be in as good shape as you can be, given the heat we're trying to combat here. Taking a look, Muggy meter's pleasant today, and it's the last day it's going to be in the green category. We're moving that arrow up starting tomorrow, along with our temperatures. Looking at what else we have to deal with today. Well, pollen counts flatline the rest of this week. So your allergies, however they were yesterday, will be the same today, all the way through the weekend, with grass, juniper, and oak being the 3 big allergens this time of the year. High for our UV index. 20 minutes, you're getting a sunburn if your skin's not covered up or the sunscreen's not on. That's just the way it's going to work today. Abundant sunshine, sunset at 8:05. And taking a look at the pool forecast, it is a very good pool day with the low humidity. 83 at 2 p.m. We're still in the middle 80s all the way to 5 o'clock. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll look ahead to Father's Day, which could break a record. We'll detail that and look at your 7-day forecast before we even get to 8 o'clock.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning at 7:47. A quick look here at I-40 at Briley Parkway. We've just picked up a crash there on that east side towards Donaldson. TDOT is there dealing with the leftovers of that crash, so please be aware about that as you get out and about there this morning on that east side. We do know that traffic is going to be a bit slow because of that crash. You can try to take Lebanon Pike or Elm Hill Pike as the best ways to steer clear from that. We'll continue to watch other things happening around the cities. We're live and local with you through 9.
All right, you hear the music. Let's talk about sports. The Tennessee Titans offseason is in the books. The team finishing organized team activities this week, which means we're not going to see them again until training camp.
Fox 17 News Sports Director Joe Jelinek has more on how the team looks as we get closer to the new season.
Tennessee Titans wrapping up their offseason program this week. The team holding 2 voluntary OTAs and then closing out the program with a fun team bonding activity put together by head coach Brian Callahan. Looking back at the last 10 weeks as a whole, Coach Callahan says he's pleased with the progress his team has made so far, especially with how his team has responded to everything they've thrown at them, including a new offense, new scheme, and of course, new players and a new coaching staff. Now his message to his team, simple. Over the next month and a half, don't waste the progress we've already made. He said the last thing we want to do is take a step backwards, because when the team reports to training camp end of July, it's a full sprint to the start of the season.
Our players have done a fantastic job learning the information, being able to apply it. We've thrown all kinds of stuff at these guys from a scheme standpoint, from a technique standpoint, and to their credit, they've done a really nice job of attacking those things and handling the information, and puts us in a position to have a good training camp.
The Titans rookies will stay in Nashville a little bit longer, and the extra week will also give undrafted free agents more time to prove themselves. Former Tennessee Vols Jabari Small and Gabe Judy Lawley are doing everything they can to try to make the 53-man roster.
I talked to a whole bunch of other teams, but once I worked out here, I just kind of knew that I had a good day and they could be the team that I was calling, and talked with my agent after that, and I understood that this would probably be the best opportunity, and all the other distractions are eliminated. I don't have to figure out a place to live. I don't have to meet a whole bunch of new people. I know a lot of people here, so I'm comfortable. So all I have to focus on is football at the end of the day.
Just trying to find a way to create value for myself to help the team win. That's really ultimately what it's going to come down to, is just how can I help the team win and being undeniable, whether it be special teams, running back, catching, blocking, running. It's so many different ways you can affect the game, and that's really what I'm focused on.
Titans also announcing this week that they've scheduled joint practices with the Seattle Seahawks. Those practices will take place August 14th and August 15th right here at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, and those will lead right up into their preseason game against the Seahawks at Nissan Stadium on Saturday, August 17th. Reporting from the Titans practice facility, Jill Johnlick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
7:50 is the time. Amazon says that they are investing in building and preserving more affordable housing right here in Middle Tennessee, and that includes in Nashville.
Amazon's CEO announced Tuesday that the company is adding about $1.4 billion to fund up and set up affordable housing. The money is going to go towards areas across the country, but here in Nashville, it's going to include several offices on Church Street. Amazon says the investment will go on top of the $2.2 billion they've already put into this particular fund.
If you were thinking about heading towards downtown this weekend, there's a lot more reasons to do so, because you can celebrate 615 Day as 5th and Broadway is offering special rates for its parking garage coming up on Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Parking is going to be $6.15.
Listen, parking can be expensive. You can redeem your discount by showing your Tennessee ID at the Music City shop. That's on level 2. For some kind of explanation, typically parking there can be like $30.
Yeah, 20 at least to park down there. All right, well, with the temperatures rising, kids are spending more time outside of the classroom these days, especially as we've gotten into summer months now. But it's very important for children, especially, to remember to hydrate as we get to temperatures in the 90s.
Yeah, because they start playing and they don't want to stop and take a break. So dehydration in children. Signs of dehydration can include dizziness, the drowsiness, the dry mouth. To support a child's hydration, we know this, right? Take water everywhere you go.
Always get asked how much water should my child have, but dependent on their activity level, their age, it's going to be different.
All right, so this is key too, because she says Avoid sports drinks unless your child is really, really active because it could add unnecessary sugar to their diet. They don't need that.
And the Gatorade, the Powerade, or the Prime that so many kids are into right now, just limit it if you can. Well, thanks for waking up with us right here on Fox 17 News this morning. We're your only live
locations.
Well, this morning we are learning so much more about what it means to light the night for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We are speaking with two women who are so involved in this particular program. So I do want to ask you all to introduce yourselves and then kind of talk about why this is so important.
Yeah, my name is Fatima Delheimer. I'm the campaign development manager for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society here in Nashville, working on the event Light the Night.
And I know you were talking about your personal connection. Can you introduce and then talk about that?
Yeah, so I'm Jenna Harris, and my son Palmer Harris, he is 4 years old, and he's been diagnosed with leukemia.
Wow.
So B-cell ALL specifically.
Talk about the need to raise awareness about the issues out there. And I always like to start with people who just found out, and because they've got to be in a bit of a fog there, just finding out for the first time. How do you advise people deal with that? What resources are available if your doctor just told you, just recently?
I mean, as you said, you're in a fog for a very long time. So luckily they do give you resources, like reach out to, companies and organizations like LLS. But you don't really come out of it until a little bit later, and then reach out to those people.
Yeah.
I think that I found LLS through social media.
Yep.
And and then we just dove straight in because they're the company and they're the organization that is doing a lot of this cancer research funding for our babies, our children, and it's just so important to stay involved and back them as they're backing us.
And I do want to make sure that folks who are watching and don't know what Light the Night is, please explain to us, what is Light the Night, how can I get involved, and why is it crucial?
Yeah, so Light the Night is what we call our community event. It's free for everyone to attend. It's a walk very similar to other walk for nonprofits, except that ours happens at night, which is very cool. So ours is taking place on Thursday, October 17th at First Horizon Park. And it's, again, free to attend. It's just a great awareness event, and as well raises funds for the research to hopefully find that cure for cancer.
I see in the pictures here everyone holding up a lantern here. Is that the light of the night?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So our gates open at 5:30 p.m. and everyone that attends will receive one of those free illuminated lanterns, and each one symbolizes something different to the disease. So white are carried by those who have cancer or are survivors. So little Palmer will be holding that white lantern. Gold is if you've lost a loved one to cancer, and then red is if you simply want the world without cancer and you're there for support. So we have a short ceremony, and it's really moving.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this information. Of course, we are months ahead of this, so we're going to make sure it's posted online and then get y'all back in here just before this event.
Perfect.
October 17th, everyone, over at First Horizon Park. All right, let's get over to Greg Belvis. He's got the latest on your forecast.
Yeah, a little sneak peek of what's to come going into our 8 o'clock hour, and that is going to be the weekend and the heat that we have just cranked up even more than it looked like we were going to even just 24 hours ago. Today will be 85 degrees, but by Saturday into Sunday, we're talking mid to upper 90s, could be near record breaking temperatures, mainly sunny. Coming up at 8 o'clock, I'm going to have your next check of possible rain. Real skeptical about seeing it. We could get some Monday into Tuesday, and then we'll also talk about a few other days that might break records in a stretch of 90s. That's coming straight your way in just a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic out there for you on your Wednesday morning. Let's take a good look here at I-40 at Briley Parkway. This is over in the Donaldson area. We're doing okay. We were just dealing with a crash out there a short time ago. TDOT was able to get there, able to get that under control and move that out of the way, so no more problems there as you come in from that east side. We'll be watching other areas of town coming up here in the next few minutes, but so far, things are looking fairly calm out there on the roads.
If you're making plans for this weekend, Fox 17 News giving you a chance to receive two tickets for Brew at the Zoo. Yeah, Friday, June 14th at the Nashville Zoo. You can enjoy the animals, the live music, the food trucks, and of course, dozens of craft beers. It's going to be an after-hours event, though.
After-hours event, 21 and up only. Message and data rates do apply. If you want complete contest details, you can go to the website fox17.com/contest.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, an arrest made for a deadly shooting over on Edge Hill Avenue. We have the very latest updates from police.
And the clock is ticking until 90-degree temperatures return. And once they do, we've got a long streak of them ahead. How many we could see in the next 2 weeks coming up in your forecast?
And steer clear traffic gets us to the north side, 65 Eternity Lane up there as traffic is moving along. We've got the latest details on any slowdowns coming up here for you live and local through 9.
All right, it's Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I am Justin McFarland. Jen Waddell has the day off. Fox 17 News has got you covered, though, live and local through 9 with your latest traffic and weather information. Plus, stories like this one impacting local communities.
Yeah, we have some updates this morning. We now know one person is in custody in connection with a deadly shooting over in South Nashville. This was yesterday. Metro Police say 18-year-old Malachi Rabaka was found shot to death inside the Edge Hill Apartments around 2:30 p.m.
Arrest records show that Detarius Watkins was arrested a short time later overnight. He's now been charged with criminal homicide. He's being held right now without bond.
We have continuing coverage right now out of East Tennessee. The TBI says 2 deputies were hurt in a shooting. They say Blount County deputies responded to some sort of domestic disturbance yesterday. It happened at a home over in Rockford.
Now, they say when they arrived, the man inside the home opened fire at them, hitting 2 deputies. The TBI says the suspect was arrested after barricading himself inside the home. He's been identified as 59-year-old Ronald Millsap. The 2 deputies were shot, and they were identified as Deputy Corbin Smith and Deputy Edwin Walker. We're told that both of them are in stable condition right now.
This morning we go to Ashland City, where a homeowner says that his home has been flooded several times over the last decade, and now he's dealing with thousands of dollars worth of damage to his property.
Now, he is in Ashland City, but he's right there on the county line between Davidson County, Metro Nashville, and Ashland City, which is Cheatham County. But he's trying to contact local authorities to get the problem fixed. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is live at his home, talking to him throughout the morning, feeling his pain, trying to figure out what to do.
Good morning. That's right. And this property falls right under Davidson County, which Metro Water Services is responsible for. And John Cripps, his home, which I'm right in front of here on Bull Run Road, tells me that he's been searching for answers from Metro Water Services to help his flooding problem that has happened over the last 10 years over and over again. Metro Water Services telling me that they even put a culvert here that you can see behind me, and it hasn't rained in days, but it's still filled with water, and it's actually very deep. Take a look at how deep it is when that rock goes in there. And they also say they've expanded it, but it's still not enough. The flooding just continues at his home, and this becomes overflowed, which then damages his property, including this fence right behind John Cripps. And I'm here with him right now. Tell me, what have you been going through and some of your frustrations?
Well, my fence getting torn down. I've lost 700 foot of fence one time, 900 foot of fence one time. It's very costly. My driveway keeps settling down. I keep adding gravel because it keeps sinking. It's a place where mosquitoes breed. It's a health hazard in the summer. You get swarmed by mosquitoes down here all summer. All along for 49 years I've been paying stormwater tax. Maybe just to get everybody else's stormwater here on my place and keep it.
Right, but the thing that you really are asking for is to just get some relief, and you've been trying to contact multiple people, including the former mayor and this mayor, and still nothing is being done. So we are currently looking into that, and coming up in the next half hour you'll see some more of that damage and how John is being affected by all this. Reporting live here in Davidson County, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
The forecast here will keep things dry for quite some time, and now we're talking about our next weather maker, which is going to just be the expanding heat. Today will be in the 80s, and then we really crank it up really quickly going into tomorrow. This is the last day in the 80s, about 4 degrees warmer than yesterday, and then we're talking about 90s starting tomorrow, all the way through the end of the 7-day forecast, through the end of most of next week. There might only be 2 or 3 days in the next 20 days that don't hit the 90-degree mark. That's where we're at. And now that I'm keeping Sunday dry, the temperature will be even hotter than it was projected to be even just 48 hours ago. I'm going for 99 on Sunday, and we can't rule out possibly hitting 100 degrees in a few spots on the map. How many 90s in a row? That's the big question we'll be watching here going forward, at least 6 in a row starting tomorrow. Right now, 66 degrees. Not bad. A few clouds out there. Those are going to break up for us. More sunshine than anything. Temperatures quickly climbing a little warmer, a little more quickly than yesterday morning. Will be in the upper 70s by 11 o'clock and then middle 80s most of the afternoon. The UV index a little bit higher, so 20 minutes and you're getting a sunburn, but at least the humidity is down. Coming up in the next Code Red forecast, we're going to look at that 7-day and then also look at Sunday itself, see how close to record-breaking heat will be and compare it to Father's Day's past.
8:05 is the time. Let's take a look at your steer clear traffic for you this morning. This is going to be I-65 at Boers Lane out there in Franklin, Cool Springs. Good morning to all of you out there. We're rolling along really nicely. No major holdups as you make that drive in from Franklin or Williamson County this morning. Of course, we are always watching for anything that could get your way, but right now around 36 minutes, which is typical for this time of the day coming in from there. This is going to be I-24 near Harding Place as you make that drive in from Antioch. Also doing a lot better on that drive coming in from Murfreesboro. We'll give you updated drive times and anything else that could hold you up coming up here in the next few.
Well, Greg was just talking about temperatures rising towards the 90s, but city leaders over in Hendersonville, they're talking about sledding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sledding on a golf course. We're going to tell you why. Some citizens looking to hit the slopes could be charged with trespassing in the future.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting.
8:09 is the time. Hole number 13 at the Country Hills Golf Course is known as a nice steep hill. Now, it's a challenge out there for the golfers, but apparently it's absolutely perfect for sledding. Now, I want to be clear. I don't know if this is hole 13 or not out there at the Country Hills Golf Course there in Hendersonville. It is a picture of the golf course there. I'm not sure if it's hole 13. But regardless, that hole has suffered a lot of damage because of people using it for sledding the last time that it snowed a few months ago. The city says it's fine for a few people, but the number of people has really gone up over the years, causing major damage to the course.
That's a decision I think that you've got to make. Are you going to somehow or another allow the sledding to continue and be prepared to cover the cost that comes from this in the future? Or are you going to attempt to shut it down, and what's that going to require?
What we need to do is reduce the volume of the sledding if we want to prevent this from happening, or accept the volume of the sledding and budget to cover the cost.
Now, keep in mind, it only snows a couple times a year typically, but it doesn't take long for people to get out there and cause the damage that forces them to replace some of the sod there at the golf course, and that can get expensive. The police chief says they're typically very busy with traffic accidents during snowstorms, so it could be difficult to put an officer out there on sled patrol to make sure people don't use the hill out there at the golf course. But they are threatening, though. They could put up signs, and anyone caught sledding could be charged with trespassing. A deadly shooting is now under investigation this morning in Robertson County. Deputies say that a man was found dead near some train tracks near the North Quail Road area yesterday. Now, they say that they believe that man was shot and then brought to that location and left there. Deputies have not identified that man, but they say he appears to be an Hispanic man. As the story develops, we'll continue to give you updates both on air and online at fox17.com. In Operation Crime and Justice, listen to this story right here. Two 12-year-old boys are now in custody after police say they stole a teacher's SUV. The Metro Police say that the two students are from Two Rivers Middle School, and they saw that teacher had left the key in their car, to their car rather, on their desk. The students took it, went outside, got in the SUV, and took off. Where did they go? Down I-40. Near Bucksnort, about an hour away. Authorities were able to find them thanks to their parents using one of their iPads to track them. The two 12-year-olds are currently in the Davidson County Juvenile Detention Center.
Coming up next in your Code Red forecast, it is all about the heat, bringing the heat, finding how hot will be to the point of near records this weekend. That's coming your way in just a few moments from right now.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 near Harding Place. As you make that drive in from the south and east side of town, we've got the very latest on your drive coming up in a few, plus continuous free. 8:14 is the time here on this Wednesday morning. We are following a call from the NAACP for an urgent meeting with Nashville Mayor Freddie O'Connell.
Yes, the NAACP is expressing serious concerns over the investigation into allegations against Metro Nashville Police, their department, and a new law to weaken police oversight boards across the state.
Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino broke this story just yesterday, and now she's got more details. Kelly?
That's right, guys. The NAACP sent an open letter yesterday to the mayor saying that, quote, "This is not a good start to your term. It all comes after a whistleblower, a former lieutenant on Metro Police's Internal Affairs Unit, filed a complaint with the city alleging that high-ranking police officers lobbied state legislators to get a new law passed. That law limiting the power of civilian oversight boards across the state. Now, the Nashville Community Review Board says it's been hamstrung ever since and is currently in negotiations with the police department and mayor over how much access they'll ultimately have to police records when investigating claims of officer misconduct. The CRB says the allegation, if true here by the whistleblower, undermines the will of Nashville residents who voted for a police oversight board in 2018. The NAACP now raising concerns that the mayor did not involve the community here in choosing a third-party independent law firm to investigate all these claims. They're already raising doubts about the process and the impartiality on behalf of the city. Now, we did reach out to the mayor, and so far we haven't heard back just yet. A press conference is being held later today on this issue, and the NAACP and CRB will be there. I'll have the latest at 5:30. I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Kelly, thank you so much. 8:16 is the time. You're taking a look at brand new renderings of the Nashville Yards. It's a 19-acre mixed-use development that's currently under construction in the heart of downtown Nashville. It's going to have a lot to offer.
More than 3 million square feet of retail, entertainment, hotel, and yes, residential space. It's also going to host a state-of-the-art music venue called The Pinnacle, which can hold more than 4,000 people. But not so fast. Okay, the venue is set to open, but it's not going to open until 2025.
8:17 is the time. Let's get to Greg Bobus right now, standing by with a look at the forecast, getting set for Father's Day. I know a lot of people are. Maybe want to make some indoor plans with Dad?
I would say if you can, do it for sure. I mean, it's the hottest day in the forecast for the next 7 days by far. We could break a record. It'll be the hottest Father's Day in the last 5 years. And we have humidity that can take it over triple digits for how it's going to feel outside. 85 degrees today, completely different from what you're going to feel tomorrow. The humidity is not really noticeable yet. It'll build a little bit very late today, getting close to sunset, and then pick up overnight tonight. We've only had 3 days that have hit 90 degrees so far. We average 49 every summer. We've got at least 6 more coming in the next 7 days. Here are 4 of them. We take a look at Thursday, 94 degrees, 3 degrees shy of a record. Friday, 95 degrees, 2 degrees shy of a record. Now, Saturday, we're not going to reach 100, so that one is not going to be close to a record day. But look at Sunday, 99 versus the 100-degree record set back in 1952. And we have a chance. Now, let's talk Father's Day itself. It's not always the same day of the month. Taking a look, the last 3 Father's Days, 87 degrees last year, 89 back in 2022, and then in 2021, it was 93. So we've had warm days every year the last 4 years, but no rain, just like this year, nothing close to 100. Look at the forecast. We're not done after Sunday. We'll keep it going. 95 degrees on Monday, no relief. And then you look at Tuesday. That could potentially be our next chance for a few showers and storms. We're still a week out. That could change in the forecast, either going up in terms of rain chances, or there is even a chance we could be removing that completely from the forecast. We'll keep our eyes on it.
8:18 is the time. Quick look at steer clear traffic as you make that drive down from I-65 near Dickerson Pike on that north side. Traffic there moving along pretty well. We do have some congestion that we're clearly dealing with that's slowing things up right now. That drive time in from Hendersonville to downtown Nashville is looking closer to about 40 minutes right now as you're going to experience that drive slow down rather right about there at Dickerson all the way in. You could take Dickerson Pike itself. You could jump off the exit, take Dickerson Pike itself, or Ellington Parkway is the best way to steer clear because it's going to be like this all the way into downtown for the next several miles.
Well, after the break, we're going to have an update regarding
8 8:22 is the time, and new this morning in Operation Crime and Justice. A teenager is now in custody after police say he drove away from a traffic stop that happened last night.
Police say the 18-year-old was driving with a suspended license plate. They also say when officers tried to pull him over, he drove down a dead-end street, stopped the car, and then just took off running.
Wow. Police say they used a taser to try and stop him. They say that teen was in possession of illegal drugs.
We're going to check in now, get you that Wednesday forecast. Enjoy Wednesday, Greg says, because it's only going to get hotter and hotter.
Enjoy every single minute of it. Maybe you're doing some yard work later on today just to make sure that that's done before the 90s return tomorrow, and then you just want to relax. Get a nice comfy chair, maybe light a fire before it gets too hot for the evenings that'll start tomorrow. 83 comfortable degrees at 6 o'clock, low humidity. We'll see our temperatures continue to fall. Sunset tonight going to be at 8:05, 79 degrees at 8 o'clock, and then they'll continue to drop to right around 70 by 10 p.m. The entire evening looks very nice, and so does the whole day. We're starting off right now with the current temperatures on the right side of your screen. Those are always there for you every morning from 4 a.m. until 9, even during commercial breaks, just to make you have an easier way to start your day in case you got to get running before you can catch a full forecast. Taking a look from Bonfire to Bonnaroo. 90 on Thursday, 92 in Manchester, 94 on Saturday, and 95 on Sunday. You may not be going, but maybe you know someone who is, and they don't necessarily always follow along with the weather. And Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday were all great. Nothing like that tomorrow. The humidity is up and temperatures will be hot the entire weekend, and nighttime temperatures are going to be about 10 degrees warmer than they've been so far this week. So just some things to have in mind here as we go in toward the upcoming weekend. And you could always check in on the forecast, get our up-to-date 7-day forecast and hour-by-hour check of the forecast as well by downloading the free Fox 17 Code Red Weather app, that QR code right there on your screen, or just go to the App Store with whatever type of device you might have.
Steer clear traffic. Let's go north of town to Ellington Parkway near Cleveland Street. This is just east of downtown Nashville. You can see there things are green. They're nice, but they're a little slow. Making that drive in, that's because things are slow on 65 near Trinity Lane, and that is normally the place. This is what I normally tell you to do if you can't be bothered with I-65 and the things going on over there. So we're doing okay so far. Let's take a look here. This is the latest crash we've just picked up. I-40. This is going to be I-40. It's close to the 24 junction, but I-40 at Briley Parkway. You can see the accident there in the zebra stripes. Still waiting on authorities to get there to that one, but not causing major delays, at least not yet.
We have some updates now in Operation Crime and Justice because 3 children and 1 adult were seriously injured after a shooting that ultimately led to a police chase over in Memphis.
Police responded to a shooting on the Interstate 240. That's where they tracked down the car and followed it. Now, there was a car chase that eventually ended with a crash. The people inside got out and ran away. However, 2 people were later located. Again, this is over in Memphis, where 3 children and 1 adult involved in that shooting on the interstate.
There are a lot of students that are planning ahead for, their college tuition. Middle Tennessee State University, though, says they're increasing tuition for the new academic year starting this fall.
One of the biggest universities in the state, MTSU, says it has now approved a 5.39% increase. They say it was necessary to meet the rising cost. They say that the increase of scholarship is causing this, along with the expanded academic programs. They offer a lot of majors at MTSU. Now, despite this increase, leaders say that Middle Tennessee State University is expected to remain the lowest in tuition and fees compared to other schools like the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, as well as the University of Memphis. That increase means that the average undergrad in-state student would pay around $518 per year for classes. Trustees also approved an increase of 3.5% worth of housing rates.
We're going to take a quick look at what's trending over on our website, fox17.com. And the big story is Bonnaroo.
Bonnaroo!
Yeah, TDOT is getting ready for all the folks that are heading out to Manchester to camp out. By the way, yesterday they opened up the campground, so folks are already in there, getting their spot ready to go for all the performances. It's a 4-day music festival. Maybe you're new to Middle Tennessee. You don't know what Bonnaroo is. Well, just know that if you're heading out to that area, it is going to be a hot one. If you want to get some more details about Bonnaroo, including the traffic, you have any traffic advice, Justin?
Leave early, but they kind of got it down to a science at this point. So, just go follow directions. I'll give you that much. Go out there. They've got detours set up. Police are there. Follow directions and make sure you end up safe and sound. As far as the headliners this year, they have a very, shall we call it eclectic? Is that the right word? List of people, including Megan Thee Stallion, T-Pain,
the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Cage the Elephant,
Carly Rae Jepsen,
Jason Isbell, a lot of different, no matter what your music is.
Oh, they got it.
They got you covered out there.
Red weather.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, coming up, intense flooding over in Ashland City. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar will be live with one man's story coming up in a few.
Taking a look here, starting off this morning with just a few clouds and a cool beginning. It's going to be a very hot end to the week. How many days in a row we're going to hit 90 degrees is coming right your way.
And I-40 at Briley Parkway is where our latest steer clear traffic incident is, causing a bit of a slowdown there from the east side. We'll tell you the best ways to steer clear.
We're also going to tell you good morning and thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I am Justin McFarland. Fox 17 News here, of course, with you live and local through 9 o'clock this morning as Jim Waddell does have this Wednesday off.
Well, just into our Fox 17 newsroom, a Christian County, Kentucky man facing charges after what deputies call a road rage shooting. Take a look at your screen. Deputies say Daniel Kaufman shot at another car while driving on Pennyroyal Parkway. This was yesterday afternoon.
They say that they were able to stop Kaufman. After the shooting, we're told Kaufman admitted to firing shots in the air, but deputies say they found a bullet hole in the victim's bumper. He's now being charged with endangerment there in Kentucky.
We're going to take you to Ashland City. We're speaking with a homeowner who says that his home has been flooded so many times over the last decade. And as you can imagine, it's causing, thousands of dollars worth of damage?
Thousands of dollars. Now he's searching for some answers. Let's get out to Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar, who's got his story.
Good morning, Erica and Justin. I'm in front of John Cripp's home here on Bull Run Road, and he tells me that he's owned his home for nearly 5 decades, and only in the last 10 years has he seen flooding over and over again, to the point that Metro Water Services did come out, they tell me, to put a culvert here, but as you can see, it hasn't rained in days, and there's still water in there, and it's really deep. You can see that the water is pretty deep just by the way that the rock goes inside of it. And another thing that he pointed out to me was that this isn't the only culvert on the street. If you look behind me and you kind of zoom in, his neighbors also have culverts that look a little bit different, and they're looking dry. Now, the fact that this culvert isn't exactly as efficient as the rest, he tells me, has caused damage to his property, including tearing down his fence, which is right behind him. Now, this is John Cripps. John, tell me, what have you done to try to get this fixed, and what are you looking for specifically?
I've reached out to the mayor's office, reached out to Hub Nashville, the councilman of my district, everybody numerous times. I think some engineer could probably come out here and look at this and design something, a box culvert, I think would fix this. I think I could design it myself, even though I'm not an engineer, and put it in myself. But I've been threatened with jail if I stick a shovel around and dig.
Got it. Well, I'm so sorry to hear that. And of course, we are looking into this. Metro Water Services also tells us that nothing can be reasonably done at this time. So we're going to reach back out and find out if they can get some of your requests, like that box cover, to help John here with some of his problems. Reporting live here in Davidson County, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you so much. We were talking about Bonnaroo a couple of minutes ago, and Greg, today would be a good day to get out there and just get your campsite ready.
Yeah.
Avoid the heat.
You don't be putting a tent up in 90-degree heat. No, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow the 90s come back. Today it's the 80s. Today is the last day where it just feels great. Now, peak heating of the day when it's, right around 80, 85 degrees, noon to 3 p.m. The sun's going to be hot. But if you find some shade, we have low humidity, it really won't feel all that bad. Now, it is much hotter for the weekend. I've taken rain away from Sunday. I've added sunshine in it. We already had a high forecasted temperature of 97 degrees. We have boosted that up because now there are no storms until next week. Take a look at how much higher we've gone. Right there in the middle of your screen, your Father's Day is now forecasted for 99 degrees. We'll take a look at how that stacks up to record temperatures for June 16th, which is Father's Day. Coming up in your forecast, we'll also get you your curious question and your dog of the day.
Still clear traffic, starting to see a bit of a slowdown coming in from the east side of town. That's going to be I-40 near Briley Parkway on that particular drive. You can see it there. It is a bit slow making that drive in from the east side. We will continue to follow things. The crash is there in the zebra stripe, so it's not blocking any lanes. Just people slowing down to look. Also dealing with some congestion as well. As you can see, the traffic at a basic standstill in some of those outer lanes here. So this could be just congestion making this drive in. You can use Lebanon Pike or Elm Hill Pike as good ways to steer clear. They've got stoplights, but not congestion like this.
Well, new this Wednesday morning, we have an important alert for parents. The FBI says sextortion cases are on the rise, and this time it involves children.
Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse joins us live this morning outside of the Federal Bureau of Investigation there near Donaldson with the details about this.
Good morning, Erica and Justin. So the FBI says parents should pay close attention to who their kids are communicating with through their phones, online, and even through gaming systems like Xbox or PlayStation. FBI Special Agent Beth Creppen says offenders pressure minors into sending sexually explicit content, then demand victims to send money, or the criminals will leak their inappropriate material to their family and friends. A lot of the time, Agent Creppen says these offenders coerce them by pretending to be another minor their age.
What we're finding is these offenders who may be, an adult male somewhere, but they're pretending to be a young female. And they're sending these stock photos off the internet, claiming it's them, sexually explicit images to the minor boys, and then the minor boys are encouraged to send an image back.
Agent Creppen says these offenders are usually overseas, but there are some in the U.S. who the FBI has held criminally responsible. While Agent Creppen says victims are usually between 14 and 17 years old, there's been more than 13,000 incidents like this across the United States, even happening here in Middle Tennessee.
Unfortunately, we've seen a rise in suicides among some of these victims, these young minor boys and sometimes females.
The FBI suggests parents to take the time to know what their kids are doing online and who they're communicating with. If you believe that you or your child is a victim of these horrific crimes, contact your local police, and you can even contact the FBI directly. A little later, we'll have more details on our website at fox17.com. Reporting live in Donaldson, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your code red station.
All right, Peyton, thank you. Coming up, cracking down on crime in the Bellevue area. We're talking more with local leaders who have some proposals that they would like to see.
8:40 is the time in your community this morning. There is a proposal for a brand new police precinct that could be going up in Bellevue.
And now we're hearing more from Councilmember Jason Spain, who proposed a police precinct right in the capital improvements budget. Now, this would cost more than $22 million, but Spain telling Fox 17 News that getting a new building might be hard to do.
He says the focus is trying to get more officers on the street. Now, Spain says that the West Precinct already covers Bellevue, but oftentimes it's understaffed with only 5 officers working per shift. This comes after a string of crimes in the Bellevue area, including the shooting of a 13-year-old boy at a park there in Bellevue. The shooter, by the way, was 15 years old. Also want to point out real quick, they've been working for years to get a police precinct built in other parts of the city, including in Antioch. Police say staffing is another issue. Once they just get the precinct built, they still need the officers to go there.
Yeah, and this does lead to our question over on our Fox Nashville X account. Take a look here. Do you think a new MMPD precinct in Bellevue can help prevent crime in that area? 60.6% of you all say yes, it could make a difference. Let us know what you think about this story by heading on over to all of our Fox Nashville social media platforms.
8:42, looking at your forecast. This is the last nice day to get out there and do anything when it comes to maybe your golf game, because not that it's going to rain every day going into the weekend. It's going to be really hot once you get past those first few hours of the day. So as you're teeing off here this morning, your early morning tee times are still looking pretty good. We still have temperatures that are going to stay in the 60s here for the next hour or two, and then maybe you make the turn to the back nine around lunchtime. Right around 80 degrees at that point. So a little warmer, a little more quickly than yesterday. 84 degrees at 3 p.m. So that after work, round to 9 might be a little warm, but not humid. Plenty of sunshine the entire day. Starting tomorrow, the humidity goes up. Temperatures climb about 10 extra degrees back into the 90s. Now, this brings me to my curious question of the morning. How many dimples, the little divots, are there on the average golf ball? 98, 126, 244, or 336. I'm going to have that answer for you. I'll look at your 7-day forecast and your Father's Day forecast. And also, we'll meet our dog of the day coming up in about 5 minutes.
8:43. Let's talk about your steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get you out to I-40. This is very close to Broadleaf Parkway. We do have a crash sitting there in the zebra stripes, causing minor delays as you make that drive in. A lot of people slowing down just to take a look at it. What you can do is use Lebanon Pike or Elm Hill Pike. There's good ways to steer clear in from the east side. Other than that, we're doing good. This is Ellington Parkway near Cleveland Street over in East Nashville. 8:45 is the time in Operation Crime and Justice. Metro Police are investigating a shooting that took place yesterday afternoon. They say that a teen was shot in the leg. This happened on 33rd Avenue North.
The good news is we're told the teenager is doing okay. Witnesses say the shooter, though, wore a mask and then ran away after this shooting. So now this morning, folks are asking that if you have any information as to who is responsible, maybe you witnessed something, to go ahead and call Crime Stoppers.
Well, the Tennessee Titans are all done with their offseason. The team finished up organized team activities earlier this week, which means we will not see them on the field again until training camp begins coming up in July.
But right now, Fox 17 Sports Director Jill Jelnick has much more on how the team looks as we inch closer to the new season.
Tennessee Titans wrapping up their off-season program this week. The team holding 2 voluntary OTAs and then closing out the program with a fun team bonding activity put together by head coach Brian Callahan. Looking back at the last 10 weeks as a whole, Coach Callahan says he's pleased with the progress his team has made so far, especially with how his team has responded to everything they've thrown at them, including a new offense, new scheme, and of course new players and a new coaching staff. Now his message to his team, simple. Over the next month and a half, don't waste the progress we've already made. He said the last thing we want to do is take a step backwards, because when the team reports to training camp end of July, it's a full sprint to the start of the season.
Our players have done a fantastic job learning the information, being able to apply it. We've thrown all kinds of stuff at these guys from a scheme standpoint, from a technique standpoint, and to their credit, they've done a really nice job of attacking those things and handling the information, and puts us in a position to have a good training camp.
The Titans rookies will stay in Nashville a little bit longer, and the extra week will also give undrafted free agents more time to prove themselves. Former Tennessee Vols Jabari Small and Gabe Judy Lally are doing everything they can to try to make the 53-man roster.
I talked to a whole bunch of other teams, but once I worked out here, I just kind of knew that I had a good day and they could be the team that I was calling, and talked with my agent after that, and I understood that this would probably be the best opportunity, and all the other distractions are eliminated. I don't have to figure out a place to live. I don't have to, meet a whole bunch of new people. I know a lot of people here, so I'm comfortable. So all I have to focus on is football at the end of the day.
Just trying to find a way to create value for myself to help the team win. That's really ultimately what it's going to come down to, is just how can I help the team win and being undeniable, whether it be special teams, running back, catching, blocking, running. It's so many different ways you can affect the game, and that's really what I'm focused on.
Titans also announcing this week that they've scheduled joint practices with the Seattle Seahawks. Those practices will take place August 14th and August 15th right here at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park, and those will lead right up into their preseason game against the Seahawks at Nissan Stadium on Saturday, August 17th. Reporting from the Titans practice facility, Jill Johnlick, Fox 17 Sports, your Code Red station.
8:48 is the time. Titans are set to begin their training camp coming up. We understand first practice July 24th. So you got some time.
Yeah, about 6 weeks away until that. And I mean, it's going to feel like summer really, really quick. You're starting tomorrow. So good thing that they got that taken care of and that they've wrapped up shop for now. Taking a look, as far as your curious question goes, I asked before the commercial break, how many dimples are there on the average golf ball? The average ball. Some of them have more than others, but typically it is 336 dimples on a golf ball. And speaking of dimples, take a look at our four-legged friend Daisy here, our dog of the day, sent in by Amy from Clarksville. All smiles here in the sun, and you're going to have plenty of sun, Daisy, for the next couple of days. Amy, thank you for the photo, and get out there for a good dog walk. One last really nice day, 66 degrees, temperature at 9 a.m., 73 at 10, 77 degrees at 11, and close to 80 already. By the time we hit noon, afternoon highs about 5 degrees warmer than yesterday. They'll be in the middle 80s. You can always send us your dog photos by going to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus. You find the pinned post right there, and that's how you make it right here on air with your dog of the day each and every day. Taking a look, chasing records in the next couple of days. The 2 days I'm watching most carefully are Friday at 95 degrees. That'll be 2 degrees shy of a record set back in 2022. And then Father's Day, June 16th. A record that was set back in 1952 at 100 degrees. We're forecasting a high of 99. Very close to it. Last 3 Father's Days, and that, again, that date falls on a different day every year. 87 degrees last year, 89 2 years ago, and 93 was the temperature 3 years ago. This will be our 4th one in a row. This doesn't bring us any rain. You could always track along, though, on the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. You can scan the QR code, go to either one of the app stores, and you know you'll be good to go to get the hour-by-hour outlook. And then the next chance we have rain, you can track it in real time. On top the radar coming up in the last check of your forecast in a few minutes. We'll look at the 7-day, put all the pieces together, and find a long stretch of 90s. Right now, we'll get you out on the road. Justin.
Steer clear traffic at 8:50. Quick look here on the east side of town. This is going to be I-40 at Briley Parkway as you make that drive in from Donaldson. Places like Mount Juliet. We're doing okay so far on the drive, other than a minor delay because of a crash there in the zebra stripes in the middle of the road. So it's not blocking any lanes. People are slowing down to take a look, though. Let's take a look at your drive times. 37 minutes coming in from Hendersonville. Still a little slow down around Trinity Lane. That's typical for this time of the day.
Home.
8:54 is the time, and just into the Fox 17 newsroom, a Christian County, Kentucky man is being charged with what deputies are calling a road rage shooting here. Deputies say that Daniel Kaufman shot at another car while driving along the Penny Row Parkway yesterday afternoon. They say they stopped Kaufman shortly after the shots were fired. We're told that Kaufman admitted to firing the shots in the air. Deputies say they found bullet holes in the victim's bumper. He's being charged with endangerment.
Right now, though, at 8:55, Fox 17 News showing you a live look at that beautiful Nashville skyline. I know Greg has been really emphasizing that today is the day to get outside because the temperatures are ramping up.
Very quickly, and to the point to where the mornings won't even be that comfortable. I mean, even if it's a cool start around 70 degrees the next few days, by about 10 a.m. you're already at 80. So you don't get much relief early in the day. Justin, you mentioned that you did some yard work yesterday?
Yes, I did.
There you go. Follow Justin's lead. Do it today. You will be much more comfortable. 85 this afternoon. It will be a smidge warmer than yesterday, but not much. Still low humidity, and then that is it. We're cranking it up. 94 tomorrow, 95 degrees on Friday, and then the weekend comes into play. Now, we have Bonnaroo in Manchester. Thursday through Sunday. Not a drop of rain. Nighttime temperatures humid right near 70.
Wow.
Just think before you go. Hydration.
The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.
It seems like I bump into both of you like around town anytime you're here, you know, doing a showcase or doing a show. And now you've got another new album out since 2021's album, Talk of the Town. Yeah. And this album's doing very well. And we've got to talk about a few of the songs on here. You know, you've got John Jorgensen on here, and so it was very easy to get him in studio to record that, right?
It was a little challenging with his tour schedule, with everything that he's a part of, like you said. But I was fortunate enough to get to go out in 2018 and 19 with the Bluegrass Band with John Jorgensen. So when Brooke was talking about maybe putting this song on the album, Price I Pay, it's like, well, John was in that with the Desert Rose Band and did a great version of that on the electric guitar.
Right.
You know, with the delay pedal, and it was just awesome. It's like we're doing a bluegrass version of it, so